T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Coolest reptile podcast in the world. Let's go. First episode of 2024. Episode 431. New breed on the block series. What is good, everyone? It's a glorious Monday, New Year. Hope everyone's having a beautiful start to their 2024. I hope you had a safe and beautiful New Year's holiday weekend. But if this is your first time hanging out, what is good? I'm your boy MJ. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Select all. You'll be on top of every single podcast I drop here as of now. And as of for a while, I've been dropping podcasts on this channel. Monday, New Breed on the Block. Tuesday, All Up in the Tree Tuesdays. And then Thursdays, the main event of Trap Talks. All right, do not miss. So by hitting that notification bell, you'll catch all 3 of those episodes every single week. So thank you for all the love and support. New year, I'm feeling excited. It's going to be a big year. I can feel it, man. So speaking of growing and big year, if you're looking to get more out of what you see out of every episode, if you want to get more behind the scenes, if you just want to be a part of an awesome growing family, then go down to the very first link you see in the description below. Click on it. Join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Trap Talk Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord that will tap you in with over 185 trappers. You also get connected to the Instagram group chat. It's just the best way to network yourself, especially if you're new in the hobby. All right, we get together every Sunday with my boy Emilio and his family, the V-Unit family. So face-to-face interaction. It's just honestly one of the best ways to grow, and it's relationships, everything in this game. And I will say that I wouldn't be anything in this hobby if it wasn't for the relationships that I've made. So thank you to all my mentors. If you guys kind of notice here, these are the mentors that I have going on, and a lot of the guests that I've had on that just really inspired me. You know what I mean? So that's what this channel really is all about, you know, because it's really all about the reptiles, but the best people doing it by the reptiles. So shout out to my Patreon members. You guys are my heart. So much exclusive content being released this year to the Patreon family. Trap Fest 2024 is going to be starting to get detailed out and whatnot. So, man, big things for my Patreon family. I love you guys. You guys are my heart. I'll catch you guys in a minute. And shout out to the early birds. What's good? If you guys are in the early bird chats tonight, and if you think tonight's episode's worth of any super chat, drop a super chat. Don't be shy with the super chats. I appreciate all that love and support, man. And I'm really excited to announce some new sponsors of 2024. All right. I'm very thankful and very blessed for all of my returning sponsors, which I love. You guys are awesome, man. To have that ongoing support. A lot of my sponsors have been me from the beginning. But also I got new sponsors I definitely want to tip my hat to. So shout out to the Chipper. All right, go to COCO.com and place that order for the best substrate in the game, man. And I know this for a fact. This guy sent me a shipment of some some of the COCO and some of the COCO broken down stuff that he has in a bag. You don't want to miss the quality of this guy's substrate. Go to COCO.com and place your order. All right, shout out to the Chipper, best substrate in the game, 110%. And I'm excited to have a substrate now be a part, substrate company be a part of this podcast, because all this behind me, Chipper Coco, man. So thank you so much, Lomi Chris from the Coco Dude Company. Shout out to Mark Hager. I now officially have a all chondro sponsor, and that's my boy, Mark Hager. Flex in Texas all day, every day. Go to TexasChondros.com and see what he has available and what's going to be coming out. He's very active on social media as well. So head over to Texas Chondros on IG, give him a follow. One of the best guys to know in the reptile industry. One of the nicest guys, hands down. And I'm very honored and very blessed to have Mark Hager of Texas Chondros sponsor the trap. Appreciate you, Mark. Texas is awesome. I love Texas so much. I also love the perches that you see behind me in my PVC built enclosures that were designed by David Brahms over at the Reptile Perch. And yes, guys, perches are everything for arboreal snakes. And make sure you get the ones that are designed the right way. My boy David Brahms has it down. Head over to the reptileperch.com. See what he has available for your chondros, your Amazon tree boas, your emeralds, you name it, man. All boreal species can benefit from a David Brahms product. The reptileperch.com. Also, go to the Reptile Perch on Instagram. Give him a follow. He's also dabbling in the chondro game as well. Dude, David Brahms' work is not to be slept on. And thank you so much, David, for your sponsorship this year. Means a lot. Looking forward to working with you. And yeah, that's amazing to have him be a part of this. And last but not least, man, shout out to Mana Clothing Company. I actually have an official clothing company sponsored the Trap Talk Reptile podcast this year. And I'm going to be staying fitted. I've been wearing this brand for a while now. I want to say for at least a year, but anywhere as far as gym clothing, day-to-day clothing, MMA training clothing, whatever, man, this is your brand. So head over to manaclothingcompany.com, place your order, and shout out to Mana Clothing Company. Thank you so much for the sponsor. All right. And then last but not least, guys, this is the Monday of the week of the Reptile Super Show. Pomona. Who is ready for Pomona? Shout out to Rami. Shout out the entire Reptile Super Show family. It is going down this weekend. So down that my homie Big E Top G is going to be in the building with us. You ready? Damn. What's good, dog? You're muted. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
What's good, doggy?
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I am itching, bro.
Yeah. Did you wake
to
up
get on
yet?
that airplane. Can you hear me?
Did you wake up yet?
Yeah, I'm awake, man.
Just,
yeah, we had a really
man.
good day.
Hey, Happy New Year, dog. What's going on with
Happy
you?
New Year. Happy New Year.
Did you have a good New Year's? Safe New Year's? What'd you do? Anything crazy?
We stay home, man. I'm not the biggest party animal ever. So I mean,
yeah, fuck that. Home is your safe. Home is your safe bet.
Yeah, and plus got the flight coming up, and we're
Yeah,
gonna have a good time over there. So,
dude, yeah, you got a big week ahead of you. That's for sure. And just I know any kind of traveling's like, I mean, even if you're even traveling in the car like a few hours, it's still like something. But you're about to fly across the country, my man, and you're coming to San Diego. You're going to go to LA. You're about to do the damn thing in Southern Cali. But how do you feel about the Pomona Reptile Super Show, man? How you excited to get your feet finally wet at a Reptile Super Show?
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. I can tell you that it looks so big, so many people.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, it looks huge, amazing. So
I will say, if you have bad knees, make sure you're wearing knee wraps or some sort of like, one thing I'm doing for sure, dog, is having those padded floorings behind my table. My knees can't handle it no more. It's terrible. I feel like I'm crumbling, but
yeah, we're using that at the shows now.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah.
Well, super excited to have you come through this week. Also excited to have you be a part of tonight's episode because I've recently became homies with this guy, I would say last year, but definitely he has a foundation going on that I respect, and I'm looking forward to dabbling with the homie Matt Yates. Have you you know anything about the homie Matt Yates?
I looked over his IG a little bit in his MORPH market. It looks amazing stuff.
Really humble
really
guy,
nice
bro.
combos.
Yeah, really humble guy, but he has heat. You know what I'm saying? His projects aren't so humble, but him himself, really cool, fucking down to earth guy. I only get nothing but great vibes from him, so I'm excited for tonight. I would say this podcast is long overdue because I think right when I met him, I was like, dude, I want you on the show. But now it's worked out to where he's the first new breeder on the block of 2024, man. And the early birds are fucking cracking. Should we say hi to people in the live chats right now or what?
Let's go.
Hey, don't forget, just like Emilio's shirt, support U.S. Art, fight for your rights. Shout out to Phil Goss. Shout out to the entire U.S. Art family. If you're going to Pomona Reptile Super Show, U.S. Art needs volunteers. Reach out to Vanessa on God dang it, it's Vess. Oh my God, I'll put her link in the description below. Vanessa, Jeremy, or anyone affiliated with U.S. Arc if you want to volunteer and help U.S. Arc at the Reptile Super Show this weekend. Early birds, what's cracking? Don't be shy with the super chats either. Let's go. Willie B Exotics in the building. What's up, Willie B? Appreciate you so much for being here, dog. Big Mike, 1776 Exotics. Trap Talk Patron member all day, every day. Krista, Neurophi Exotics in the building. Trap Talk Patron member V Unit all day, every day. Appreciate you. Bradley P in the building. What's up, Bradley? Appreciate you so much. Trap Talk Patron member all day, every day. All City Serpents, homie James in the building. Trap Talk Patron member all day, every day. Man, Freddie. Morph Valley Reptiles. Trap Talk Patron member V Unit family all day, every day. Big Magic City Pythons. I almost called him Big Magic Mike. Wow. Damn. No, but shout out to the Big Magic City or Magic City Pythons, B Unit family all day, every day. Misty Rainforest in the building. What is good? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Julio Fulio with the fresh back. I hope your back's doing good, dog. Julio Fulio, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Ethan Hatchery, the homie Brian in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member, B-Unit family all day, every day. Eric's Morph Factory. Eric, I got your shirt right here, bro. Listen, I got a pile of Trap Talk shirts that are going out this week. I got you, bro. Thanks for your patience. Appreciate the homie Eric. Harlan Reptiles in the building. The homie Jordan. What is good? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Above all skills in the that's a sick name. Above all skills, but above all scales in the building. The homie Shane, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. V-Unit family. Celtic Reptiles in the building. What is up, Celtic Reptiles? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Let's see, 217 Pythons in the building. What's up, homie Will? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Lindsay in the building. What's up, Lindsay? Pico Pythons. The homegirl in the building. Good to see you. The homie Big Dog Tony. Next Level Morphs in the building. That's a homie of yours too. Shit, that was a great episode. I'm not gonna probably one of my top 5 new breed on the block series of last year for sure, hands down.
Oh yeah, Tony's
appreciate
awesome.
you so much. You know what? Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna end that in style. I think Tony's pretty player, and that's a good way to end the early bird chats. Next Level Morphs. Let's go. I don't know about you, bro, but I'm already itching for this episode to get started. Are you ready to bring the homie Big Matty Yates into the screen or what?
Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Guys, you already know the deal. Do what you got to do to stay hydrated. Do what you got to do to get your mind right. Episode 431, that first Trap Talk of 2024 coming at you with the homie Matty Yates of Matt Yates Reptiles Company. Let's go. Cheers.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
And we're live. Episode 431. Matty Yates. What's up, Matt?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Oh, we're doing, man. Matt, Emilio, Matt. What's good?
What's up, brother? How we doing?
How you doing, Matt?
Good.
Nice to meet you, bro.
How was
Yeah.
your New Year's, buddy?
It was good. Yeah, just kind of hung, kept it local. Got a great neighborhood here, and just kind of hung out with the neighbors. Had a couple cocktails, nothing too crazy.
You're in Arizona, right? Remind me and everyone where you're out of and whatnot.
I'm in Chandler. It's a suburb of Phoenix, kind of like East Valley. So,
Born and raised or what?
no, I'm originally from Omaha. So,
Omaha.
just found my way down here. Got sick of those Midwest winters. Can't deal with that no more. So, yeah, it's great now. It gets a little frost on the windshield, and it's a cold day here.
You totally look like you're from Nebraska.
Yeah, corn hustle, baby.
You look like you went to high school with Brock Lesnar or some shit. Dude, so I mean, you're in Arizona. Did the snakes travel with you in Arizona? Was Reptile something a part of what you had back in Omaha, or what's
Correct. Yeah, I've done this really my whole life, and the snakes came with in the U-Haul and everything. I mean, that was a little bit of a strenuous drive. I had them up in the cab with me, but yeah, they relocated. I've expanded a little bit since then, but yeah, I had to make the trek, but I wasn't getting out of this game. I love it.
what year did you expand?
Well, let's see. I moved down to Arizona in 2017, and kind of progressively holdbacks and some additions and whatnot. Just over the years, it's gotten a little bit bigger.
Damn, awesome, man. And ball pythons is the foundation, right? I mean, obviously I know that when I go to your table, but you know, some people have stuff that they don't really talk about. But from what I know, ball pythons is the bread and butter, correct?
Yeah, I used to do a bunch of Rhacodactylus geckos. Back in the day, I was real heavy into that. Tons of like cresteds and chahuas and that kind of stuff. And kind of phased it out a little bit. I have a small collection just for the fun of it. And yeah, it's all ball pythons. No lack of love. You know, I love all the arboreal stuff. I'm a big fan of you know, the chondros, emerald tree boas. I like tree frogs and stuff too. But you know, I don't know. I kind of moved in the ball python space, and it's worked for me.
Well, pythons are fun, man. It's straightforward. You know what I mean? And as long as you kind of stay on top of your shit. And what I mean by that, like, I think down the road. I think ball python's a game where you have to continuously thinking down the road. Because I mean, let's be honest, people who weren't really thinking down the road are the ones checking out right now. To be real,
that's a fact. I mean, you got to do it for the love. You know, if you're just thinking you're going to come in and get rich, you know, it's not going to work out well. I've seen it happen. This isn't even the first time I've seen a recession like this in the ball python industry.
Yeah, and you know, and it was pretty drastic on how many people came in during COVID dropping mad money. Like, that's like, okay, Emilio, you know, you've seen people come into the game, drop mad meals here and there, but it seems like COVID, there was a lot of people doing that. And I think a lot of those people
COVID put mad gasoline on that fire, bro.
Yeah, because they had money to expand. They're like, fuck it, you know. But it sucks because you don't want to do that with a living animal. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I would hate to have this much and be like, I don't want this stuff. Like, dude, imagine people who are in that position right now, like, wake up every day and they probably go to their job and bust 10, 12 hours and they go home and have to fucking maintenance animals they don't want.
yeah, that's
I don't mean to laugh. That's fucked up.
On top of that,
well, that's
I feel like COVID.
Go ahead.
I felt like COVID kind of gave people this opportunity to redirect their lives, or at least a pause to like, oh my God, let me see if I can do something different. And
like an escape. Like they felt like this was their ticket out or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, what were you gonna say, Matt?
2020, you know, it's changed a little bit. You know, we know there's been some shift in, you know, the way things have been going, sales, you know, volume, all of that. But
right.
You know, that's why I say, got to do it for the love. That's all there is to it. You got to enjoy what you do. You know, have fun. If you lose the passion, like, you should probably get out.
Right. I mean, plain and simple. But with you,
real quick before we leave, I wanted to address something that Matt was talking about. For myself, sticking to ball pythons for a long time, mastering that and finding my way was the correct way to go. So I feel you on where you are, focusing mainly on ball pythons.
Well, they're so easy. That's the ease of care. You know, there's plenty of other species that really get my attention. I like them, but I'm like, can I really dedicate, you know, a huge enclosure, you know, the time? Some species, you know, require more care, and I want to be able to give an animal that care. So if I'm not able to do that, I'm going to be responsible, and I want to get into the stuff that I have a passion for, but also that I have the capability to care for.
And then, you know, again, to really build something, to build a solid foundation in such a big industry with so many different facets and so many specifics, to make a really good ground game in the ball pythons, in the ball python industry, you have to be focused.
100%. Yeah. Specialty, you know, depending on what you're working on, you want to have like a primary focus, and then maybe you know, can diversify out into other stuff. But, you know, people you get the shiny new thing, right? That's people get excited about whatever new morph, and it's very easy to go down that rabbit hole of, ooh, I like this, I want this, but does it work in your plans? Will it make sense in the long term?
Yeah. So speaking about focus, you know, with you kind of being where you're at in 2024, what's the main focus for you right now as far as projects? I'm talking as far as like stuff that, you know, maybe you don't even want to sell. You're looking to breathe this shit and hold it back, you know?
Seems to happen more often than I care to admit anymore. You know, my primary focus, like the last couple of years, has been Hypo DG Clown. That's been, I had
Amen.
Sort of a hypo DG project, and then like a hypo clown project. And at one point in time, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, Justin had a triple het male that popped up, and I was like, boy, it seemed like big thinking at the time. Just double recessives were a big deal, and kind of still are, but less so. And thinking about triple was so ambitious, but to be honest, it just made sense, and it all worked. You got to have stuff that like cohesive, it works well together, right? You don't want something to cancel out and wash out the snake and make it look all nasty. And I think those are 3 recessive that work really well together.
Yeah, I mean, that's, but it's like, that takes time, right? Like for anyone to come into this and really understand what does what to what and what you like, that takes probably, I would say, a good year or so to get an idea. But nobody wants to wait that time, and that's the missing piece, right? If you're not willing to fucking sit there and just geek out over other people's work to figure out what you want to do, and you rather just buy a snake and have them tell you what to breed, that you want to talk about a fucking COVID 101 right there. Motherfuckers were dumping money with people, and then the person selling them that snake was telling them what to do with it. Like this is what you should do. This is do this, do that, do this, do that. To where it came down to them fucking figuring it out. They don't know what the fuck they want. They're just like, I'm making what he made, only I can't sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's definitely some problems with that. That's why, I just always go back to, do you have the passion for it? Is this something you want to do? Or are you looking to make a quick buck? Like, if you want to make a quick buck, there's nothing wrong with trying to make some money, but you got to understand these are living animals. They're, there's a certain level of integrity one should have if they're in the, if they're in the ball game, basically.
And going back to what MJ was saying, these people that just got in, that were just following others, they're starting to pair animals. They're excited about them. And people that really know the game and have been in the game for a while, they see these pairings and are like, oh my God. Oof.
Yeah.
Who was helping this guy?
Yeah.
Some people just breed to breed. They're not really focused. They're not trying to work on, okay, well, this is the end goal. I want to create this. They just want to get clutches on the ground. And that's exciting. If you're like, younger or new to it, like just to get a clutch is a big deal. But to really, develop, and have a program that you're really trying to put something together, it does take some work. It does take some time. And, people tend to overlook like the hets, you say, they want it now, right? They want a visual. They won't buy the hets because it is a longer road. But to me, there's kind of a little bit more satisfaction when you get there. When you get
but is it really though a longer road? Because here's the thing: it could actually save you money, right? First and foremost, but you could still hit what you want to hit from a head-to-head pairing. The thing is, the odds aren't as good, but that's what you roll. Like those are the dice you roll with. Like when it comes to ball pythons, like you kind of just you bet on something as far as like a het situation goes. And by the way, hets matter on who you buy them from first and foremost, 100%. Right? But we're definitely in a position where now motherfuckers can't be shy. You better sell a legit hat. You gotta be a stupid ass not sell
genetic testing.
Yeah, without it, oh my God. And I feel like it's just a matter of time. People are gonna start getting burned. Like as far as like exposed, like people are gonna be like, wait a minute, I bought this from so and so, and look at these back to back tests that came back not het. Mark my words, that's about to happen this year. But anyways. I feel like everything I have to owe as far as where I'm heading to came from hets. I don't have visual money, bro. Like I came in this shit with Home Depot racks that somebody helped me build. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had escapees every day, but still, like I fucking figured it out, and I eventually made 100 racks out of that fucking Home Depot rack. Literally, like I made that much money out of Home Depot racks at one point. But it's like people just don't want to grind things out. And dude, I won't lie, man. There was times where I would walk. Actually, I take that back. I always loved walking into my room, but I'll never forget when I walked into like Miguel's room or someone's who has like Freedom Breeder racks. That hits differently. It does, right? But I already knew like I don't have $5,000 to drop on a rack right now. Like, but I'm happy because I know what I have now will get me there. Like everything takes stepping steps. No matter, dude, the people who even drop the most money still have to wait for their steps. Like, okay, you invested heavy and got a cool snake, but you still got to wait, stupid. Like, you still have to still step your way up like everyone else. So why do it so drastically right off the bat when you could just build up, You know what I mean? You know, ball pythons are all about waiting and just building up. And if you keep your mouth shut and just don't complain and don't get in your head, dude, this hobby's so fun. I love ball pythons, bro. Even though I sometimes get a little snobby over it, I love ball pythons. It's the best.
Yeah, I totally understand that. That's a fact, right? Like it is easy to be like, oh, another fucking ball python, another ball python breeder, whatever, right?
Yeah,
like,
but okay, those people are like, a lot of those people wish they could be successful at ball pythons. I mean, me and Emilio talk. We see some people going hard on ball pythons, and we like, wait a minute, didn't you keep ball pythons at once? And wait a minute, weren't you just at Justin's 2 years ago? And wait a minute, what? Okay, now you hate ball python breed. Why did it not work out for you? And that's the thing. Some people they tried it and it just didn't work out.
That shit's annoying as fuck.
But dude, it's all obvious though. You know those people who are like, oh, another ball python, dude. If you're hating on ball pythons in 2024, bro, you are salty. You are just a salty individual. Just stop.
Nip,
you know what I mean?
Nip that shit in the butt, bro.
Yeah,
just do your thing, work what you love. Don't hate on the top dog because you don't like it or you weren't successful at it.
Well, there's so many colors and patterns and cool stuff. There's a reason they're popular, right? I mean, they're But also when you go to a show or something and it's like every table, that is a little, I like the variety. I like all kinds of cool stuff. I like to go see a bearded dragon breeder and, whatever, somebody that's doing like cool monitors. It's nice to have the diversity. If you're a fan of, reptiles in general and you really like to do this, you can appreciate somebody else's work, right? You don't have to have the animal. You don't have to own it.
I want to talk to you guys about something because obviously we've all vended, we me and Maddie got a big show ahead of us this weekend, and Emilio's had plenty of shows under his belt, and who knows, actually no, I know for a fact Emilio will be vending at a Reptile Super Show at some point. This is why he's coming over here. He's trying to groom it, and obviously he wants to hang out with his boy MJ.
January 2025.
Yeah, 2025. You're gonna see the villain in the building. All right, but we know. Do you have a sales background at all, Matt? Like, have you done sales at all?
Not really. No, more like construction. Yeah.
Right. I have a strong sales background, so I'm out. Like, one thing I love about having Bob Vu on is like when he starts spitting about like his background within the industry, the insurance industry and whatnot. Like, I relate to him so much because like a lot of people made money in this fucking game lazy as fuck. Like, they're just fucking, wow, I made another snake. Give me another 20,000. You know what I mean? But with so much competition and so much happening, it's not like that no more. Okay. And a lot of this is happening at shows. Like, a lot of people go to shows thinking it's a Tinley. I'm going to fucking clean house. No, you're not guaranteed. All right. So I feel like we could do more as vendors to not only bring people into our tables, but fucking close deals. Right. But my thing is, man, are we closing the right people? Right.
Let me get in here real quick before.
Sure, go ahead, Emilio.
Because I want to connect what you said prior to this small part of the segment. We could help people as much as we can. MJ always brings this up. You also need the experience. You need to experience these things yourself. How important these pairings are for your future and for what you're selling. So with every single year, you become more and more professional. Everyone is competing with professionals. Anyone that's been in this game a long time has become a professional.
I don't see everyone professional though, to be honest. Like, I see, I see people stepping their shit up, but not every. If
you've lasted,
hold on 1 second. I think the competition, if you want to be professional, if that's the thing, you should stand out and be a professional right now, because there's a lot of people who've been doing this who are too lazy to be professional. You know what I'm saying? So you could stand out from the rest, but it's just by being a professional and making, professional moves, making your booth look better than others, and having like up-to-date backdrops and all sorts of shit, new logos coming out, like basically investing into the brand. Like, don't you understand? Like, when you put energy and time into something, it comes back. And people sometimes don't look at like dropping money on like certain branding for their table or whatever, or just doing bare minimum branding for their table. I'm sorry, but if you're trying to go to a Tinley, or if you're trying to go to a fucking Reptile Super Show, even though you can do this and just have a bare minimum banner and just really basic shit, don't expect to fucking have a big crowd coming to your table, because there's people who have displays There's people who have tables that are like, it sucks people in, and then next thing you know, their tables are always crowded. So there's just so many levels of stepping your shit up that people could take advantage of, because a lot of other people have been doing this for a long time. They don't want to evolve, and they're just sitting there. You know what I'm saying?
You know, people get polished over time, right? You know, if you're like a vendor, you do this regularly. You know, I love the fact that people are getting so good at this, and I aspire to be better. When you go to a show and you see somebody's like awesome setup, you're like, damn. Or you get ideas, right? You're like, oh man, I need a tablecloth like that, or I need that backdrop. Ooh, you know, these next level displays are legit. Like, let me get that, you know. And you're right. You got to be able to reinvest in yourself, essentially. You know, like you grow your brand. That's something that sometimes people that have been in it so long tend to neglect.
Yeah. Now, I mean, but what I was going to get to earlier, or just not too long ago, was talking about like selling at you know, I understand that, man, we want to get rid of, I don't want to say get rid of, it sounds fucked up, but there's animals that we rather find homes for versus like continue to feed, right? But you know, I like I said, I'm a salesy person and I could close pretty hard. I want to make sure I always find that right person to sell that snake to. And I always feel like you can't go wrong with a ball python. I feel like that's why ball pythons are so impactful or powerful, because I mean, yes, you can kill a ball python, but goddamn, is it really hard? Like, it's pretty difficult. You know what I mean? I mean, if the person's is really bad at listening to instructions, real simple instructions, it can go bad. But I mean, hey, dude, I had my first ball python. I was 6 years old. It was in a tank and it had a heat rock, and I had no clue until I figured things out. You know, but we all evolve and we all learn. You know what I'm saying? But it also, you know, a lot of these start at shows. That's why when I first got my first taste of vending, I knew I have to always vend. Whenever there's a reptile super show in Pomona, Anaheim, I have to, because I know people will come back and remember. Like, it's all about creating like a concrete fucking pillar in the vending side of things. And if you can, I mean, let's be honest. Why did people like Troy and fucking Josh Jackie and all these people really travel so much to do shows, bro? Because they really do kill it. Let's be honest, but they wouldn't be doing it if they weren't killing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lifestyle and it's a grind. It's
such a grind. It's a lot of work. For a long time, I was not a show guy. I mean, I've done some shows, you know, periodically. You know, keep in mind, you know, I've probably been like doing ball pythons for about 15 years, and I kind of got out of it for a while. But you know, sometimes people view a show as a success or not a success by the volume of sales they have. But it's hard to quantify the value when, you know, you're getting your name out, you're getting your face out, you know, people are seeing cool stuff you're producing. Frequently, I may not sell something to somebody at a show. They hit me up the week after the show and they want to buy something. So you close later.
Dude, yeah. Oh my God. Somebody told me there's like a 30-day window where like basically within you could expect some sort of inquiry after a 2-day show on Instagram or so. If you're pushing out your social media, like, mind you, you can't expect to have these sales happen after shows if you're not letting the person have contact information, or you're not giving them some sort of like, hey, hit me up if you're ready. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just let people walk. You can't do that, you know?
Agreed.
With every single sale, you're expanding your customer base. And anyone that's been doing this a long time knows that repeat business is what keeps everything going, man. It's repeat business for me is incredible.
Yeah,
it's number one.
Yeah, you know what's
crazy? You gotta treat people right. You know, if you treat people right, you're able to, you know, give them the right animal, right product for the right price. They're gonna come back. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
We all know being at the top ain't easy, and we know people have whatever they have feeling wise towards Justin, because Justin's Justin, right? But I just thought of something. How many people you think, like, and when I say people, how many top breeders in the game bought snakes from Justin this year? I bet you so many.
Probably, yeah.
I bet you not only did he provide snakes for the new people coming in and his Patreon members, but all the OGs, because they know who the fuck, where am I going to get that I really need as far as staying ahead of shit?
And I got an answer to that. You said this year, every year.
I mean, right. But this year's a special year. We know this. Yeah. I can't say this year because now we're in 2024. But 2023 was the year of everyone looking around saying, what's happening? All right. This was the year people were checking out. God damn it. Last year was the year people were checking out. You know what I'm saying? People are still continuing to check out. But a lot of the people who were spending money with the right kind of people, come on now. But why is that? Because he's always taking care of people. You know what I'm saying? It goes down to you. Your name is everything, right? Especially in business. Your brand is everything. Once you always keep things business and you don't let anything else get in the way of it, you can't go wrong. You know? But the problem with a lot of things that never worked out with some individuals because they were friends before they got into the business, or they got into business and there was some sort of friendship and it's unfortunate, but whenever that friendship and that business intertwines, it never works out, bro.
It's doing business with family.
Forrest Fanning used to always say, one ship that never fucking sells in business is friendship. That's one ship that never sells, because there's always something that happens. And it's like, what are you going to do? It's your friend or some shit. It's always something, you know what I mean? So I think Justin's done a good job fucking drawing that line, that business fucking line in the sand and never crossing it. He's kept shit completely business. If you're buying a snake from that guy, it's fucking business. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be.
And
loud look.
And he's inspiring the whole market.
Yeah.
He can swing the whole, whatever new release he has, some YouTube video he puts out, and suddenly that whatever gene is the hottest thing for a while. I mean, literally he can sway the market. It can, go up or down, typically up, obviously. But
well, do you think it would be happening the way it is without his consistency? Don't you think it's the way he's consistently keeping people on edge? You know what I'm saying? But like, that takes a lot of work, bro. Like, we're talking a lot more than breeding snakes now. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's like, dude, this guy's mastered more than breeding snakes, the ball python. The marketing,
sales, he was
sales and marketing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the marketing background. Yeah.
Go ahead, E.
There's something real quick that I want to say that I hear a lot, and I want your opinion, both of your opinions on it. I hear people all the time trying to compare themselves to Justin. Guys, you cannot compare yourself to someone that has been studying this game for 20 years, pretty much, and putting every ounce of himself into it for that long. Okay. I like to tell people, we joke about it in the chat here and there on the V Unit chat, because, people aspire to be Justin. I tell them all the time, no one's ever going to catch this guy. And someone might rip me for saying that. No one's ever going to catch Justin.
Yeah, but the game's not about catching him. That's the thing. Like, you should catch yourself. How about that?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, first thing, comparison, that's a thief of joy, right? Like, you don't compare yourself. It just doesn't make sense. Just focus on you. But to your point, Justin, he didn't just start this. I mean, he's been grinding for years. Just seeing the evolution, you got this photo up with him and Brian, and seeing the evolution of this man and how well he, behind the camera, how well he does now. You look at some of the earlier videos.
Oh God, how awkward was the guy, bro? The guy, I felt so bad for him on camera years ago.
Yeah, but look at him now. He's the man. He's got it figured out. And like you said, he has dedicated himself to this craft. So, respect where it's due. And Justin, he's the GOAT, really. I mean,
guys, this is a lifetime. A lifetime given to your craft. Obsessive. Okay? Don't compare yourself to this guy. Just saying.
Yeah. You know how crazy it was probably when he brought this to his wife or, whoever, to be like, I'm going to breed ball pythons and I'm going to make all this. But that's a crazy pipe dream. But, he made that dream a reality.
Luckily, his uncle believed in him.
Yep. What I could tell you guys is
it
took me forever to go full time, because I was doing my thing, doing my career, raising my kids. I just did it on the side, bro. And then finally, I went full time. Yeah.
So what a legendary photo though, huh? I just want to say, I want to give my prayers and thoughts.
I love that, man.
Check. We love you, Brian. Hope you're doing all right, man. And
we love you, bro.
Check family, and it's just really like, these are two individuals that's literally committed their life to this shit. And that's why at the end of the day, like, there's people who come into this even 10 years ago, like, you haven't been committing your life to this shit like these two, man. Like, it's literally a lifestyle. And that's why it's, you know, I wish everyone the best, no matter what they do. If they come and do this, great. They don't, great. But like, I take this shit pretty serious. I don't ever see this leaving my life because this saved my life. So I take this to fucking heart. I really do. So whenever I come across someone who just, I feel like I'm not too sure about you, or you give me some sort of sign that your energy and your concerns are elsewhere besides the well-being of the animal, then I don't know. No offense, but I stick around who I stick around with, and that's longevity. You know what I'm saying? And there's enough people in my circle who are going to be in this for long time, you know? Because I mean, guys, do you ever see yourself? I mean, we all know we're going to get great haired, we're going to get bald, or whatever the fuck's going to happen, right? But I don't know what it's going to take for me to stop doing this. Have you guys ever thought about that? Like, has anyone ever thought about what it would take for you to stop doing this?
You have to be a health thing, really, right?
You would have to, yeah. I would have to be handy. I would have to be physically incapable of taking care of my animal. And even then, I would pay, if I could, I would pay someone, or at least I could fucking come in here all fucked up and at least look at it. But still, I don't know what it would take. Like, this is like the air that I breathe. I don't fucking know. And mainly because this air that I'm breathing is the air that they breathe. I know I'm giving this shit earth. And, you know, and not a lot of people take care of their animals good, man. And the world needs more animal keepers who love what they're doing, you know?
This is my life, guys. This is my life. I've been doing this for 18 years and ain't going nowhere. What's that Charlton Heston saying for the NRA? They're gonna have to take it out of my dead. How is it? My dead hand. My dead cold hand.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if we get back to the production side of things, Matt, you know, right now, obviously a lot of people are going different directions. You know, a lot of them are holding back, you know, going to do less is more when it comes to breeding. Where do you stand? Where are you going to be at as far as goals wise when it comes to the amount of clutches you want this year? Let's talk about that.
So, you know, I've never been like big on like clutch numbers, right? I think it's more about quality over quantity. And that's just what works for me. I try to focus on pushing my projects in the right direction. I have plenty of females that I don't even breed sometimes. And honestly, I'm probably looking to reduce my overhead a little bit. And I may just, you know, release some of my breeder females because, you know, I'm constantly upscaling. I mean, when you hold something back and it comes up to size from 2 or 3 years ago, you may not need that spot for something that's, you know, lesser. But you know, to answer your question, I'm still breeding. I'm just being more selective in my pairings. That's all. I'm trying to be responsible. I don't need a bunch of animals that you know, I got to sit on and feed forever and take forever to, you know, to find them the right homes.
How many adult females do you have?
Well, I got a 40 slot rack that's basically full of adult or sub-adult, like right at breeding size females. Right. And then I have another 20 slot that's totally full with my larger, the 70 series females. So, you know, right in the range of, you know, 50 or 60. But I'll probably strive for, you know, a dozen clutches, maybe 20, something like that. I don't really, it's a lot of work. You know, I still have a full-time job. So, you know, to balance everything properly on top of, you know, family, you know, work, all it's a challenge, right? It is a balancing act at times. So I don't want to overextend.
Do you guys count clutches that laid in December for this year? Is that how you guys do that? Like,
that's a funny, you know, typically I'm not getting clutches at that time, but yeah, that's a weird, I don't know how to put this. People, there was like a debate about this at one point in time. People were like, this is a 2022, 2023, you know, depending on when it's laid or when it hatched.
Yeah, I mean, because I was, you know, beginning of this year, I was like, I'm not going to do as many ball python clutches that I want, but I ended up technically with 17, but I still have 4 more in the incubator, so I don't know if that's 13.
Yeah,
or you know, I don't. What do you do? What do you do, Emilio? Do you, if you had,
my latest clutch is always late in October.
But if you had one in December that laid and then it doesn't come out, they don't come out till February. What do you do?
Yeah, that counts for the next year. From what I've heard, most people do count it for the next year.
All right, I'm at 4 clutches this year already. Hell yeah. I'm just kidding. That's not scary. Because in my head this year, I'm like, I don't want no more than 10. I don't want no more than 10. But also too, like you you also play the game where like, okay, if I breed 15, I'll more than likely get 10. Or if I, you want to get to that number, but sometimes you have no, if that fucking shit locks and it goes down, it could all go down. And I pretty have high success rate when it comes to my pairings. And I'm curious, breeding, has that ever been like a learning curve for you? Do you ever feel like you've always had that down, Matt? Or let's kind of talk about you, like just getting the whole idea of pairing a snake together, knowing when to see follicles, all that stuff. When did you learn all that stuff?
So I don't know. You remember BP.net?
He does.
Were you around with that? It was like forums. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I was a moderator on there.
Were you? Okay. Yeah. That's old school. I know. But I mean, we're so blessed. We have all of the information. Earlier you're talking about like care and everything, right? Well, back in the day, we didn't have the resources that we have now. Reptiles magazine was about as good as it got. We didn't have the internet and everything. Care guides at your fingertips. You literally Google it and have anything you want. But, to learn, the process of learning how to breed your females, I think it's just time. You start to pick up on some of the more subtle cues, bull wrapping or kinking, they get that glow. I mean, there's certain stages to it that with time you pick up on. There's a fantastic care ball python care not guide, but like a breeding tutorial that was, I think maybe Marcus Jane did it.
Yeah, Mark Mendick made that.
Yes, yeah. And
it's on his website. It's on a website, right? Isn't it?
It's on their website. The Marcus Jane breeding tutorial.
Day sometimes. I mean, just to be like, oh yeah, wait, how many days or where am I at? If I could give one little piece of advice to somebody that's looking to start out in this, I'd say check out that website.
Yeah, I send that to everybody. Me and you, Matt, we're from the same. We're cut from the same cloth, bro.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's so straightforward and it's so and even when you're reading it, you go, wow, that sounds simple. Like that's like that. What's crazy about learning on how to breed ball pythons before you get a clutch, you can't wait to get a clutch because you feel like you're like, dude, this is gonna be too easy. Like, really, this is all you got to do. And mind you, like, there's so many different ways, of course, right? But there's so many people who do everything for the most part the same when it comes to hatching ball python eggs, and it all works. Like it's idiot proof almost. Breeding ball pythons, I'm not saying staying relevant, but I'm just saying breeding ball pythons is fucking idiot proof. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty simple. It really doesn't take a lot of skill to do it. I think maybe the hardest part when you're newer or starting out is the weight, right? I mean, that 60-day wait is brutal for a first time clutch. I still remember to this day waiting on my first clutch and how it just everything seemed so slow. It just was ticking by. Yeah.
Oh my God. Me and Emilio have a lot of experience from just kind of calming people down and
I'll bet.
Like, listen, no, that's not an ovulation.
Yeah, in the chats, bro. It's
like,
they bred the animal yesterday.
Your snake just ate yesterday. Why the fuck are you asking if it's ovulating?
And then guess what? You remember, hey, I was there once.
Dude, I tell this story. I mean, dude, I've told this plenty of times where I was somebody where somebody was telling me something and I trusted that person. I listen and I go, they're what they're telling me is true. And I had this one dickhead who's no longer here. What's funny, he was the first guy I ever saw like leave the hobby. And I'm like, wow, like you just did a video of building a freedom breeder rack. Now you're selling everything. Like it was that drastic. I couldn't believe how quick it went from posting a video and now I'm out. And I'm like, fuck. And anyways, this dickhead, and he was one of the people where I'm like, hey, bro, and like, is she gravid? Is this a prelay shed? And he would ask me, is she still eating? I'm like, yeah, she's still eating. Oh, dude, yeah, she's gravid. This is it. I'm like, wow, okay. So they eat when they're about to lay eggs. That's good to know. And I thought this for almost a fucking year. And I posted this snake after every shed for that year saying prelay shed. She never fucking laid ever. And then Chris Sursery, I don't know where, he was like my first, I would say, mentor who actually like schooled me on shit. And he was like, no, bro, like they shut off, they blow up. He showed me pictures and I'm like, oh. And even then, you don't know an ovulation until you see an ovulation. When you see that shit in front of your face, you're like, wow, like that looks very uncomfortable and it looks humongous. You can't
they get very large. Sometimes it looks like they've swallowed a football. I mean, they just they swell up so much, and you're right, it definitely looks uncomfortable.
I take that back.
I'm gonna admit to some real newbie shit.
Okay.
Here, real quick.
Let's hear
From back in the day, Matt, you tell me if you did this as well. Bro, I used to try to candle the eggs to see what I hit. I did that in the
What?
first couple years. That was the dumbest shit ever. That
You
was
were
the
trying to
dumbest
candle
shit
to
ever.
see what genetics were in the egg. Wait, what? Who told you that?
Candle the egg to try to see the pattern on the snake. Bro, people used to do that shit. And they would advocate for you to do it in the first couple years. This was 2006, 2007.
Okay.
Specifically, but yeah, I mean, you can sort of see the outline. I don't know. You'd have to have a pretty good flashlight to be candling and tell, or a window.
Never
Sometimes
again,
you get
bro.
windows you can sort of see in those.
Well, okay, let's think about the amount of morphs back then too, though. Like it was probably like more likely there's only a couple things that could be in that egg, and so
Spider,
maybe there were some markings, but that's crazy, bro. That's like thinking of VHS and DVDs or some shit. Like it's like who the hell?
If you hit a bell, you're like, okay, I can't see the pattern. Yeah, a pie. No, I can't see the. So noobs out there, we were once noobs.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I do try to remind myself and like, dude, like you definitely said you've definitely said some stupid fucking questions before, and not that they were stupid, but they were just like you were impatient, you're excited, and you're kind of being annoying. And I was like, I'm definitely in the beginning. I would ask one person something, get an answer, and ask like fucking 70 other people. And I'm like, and asking the most ridiculous question because I just want to know, you know what I'm saying? So I do know how that is for sure.
I think it's important to just, be humble and take the time. Everybody's in a different place in their journey, right? And, if anybody comes to me and has questions, I tell people this all the time at shows. I'm like, even if you don't buy anything from me, hit me up. Here's my Insta. Like, if you have any questions, like, I'll help you. I will guide you. I have no problem with that. Like, yes, don't be, needy or too much, right? You don't want to, rapid fire a bunch of questions and take it to heart. Nobody likes, the worst thing is when somebody asks for advice and then don't take it. Those are the kind of people that are a little harder to deal with.
Let's talk about some real shit right now, man. And I know we could all relate. Probably a lot of people listening right now are going to relate to this. Be ready. By the way, get the likes up for me, Matt. Let's go. Let's get the likes up right now. I really appreciate it. But man, and this even hurts when you know the person, okay? I much rather I not know the person that does this to me than the person I do know that does this to me. But let's talk about someone who inquires about a snake. And this conversation probably goes 3-4 days. And everything's lining up. Like you think, okay, like, does that answer your question? Wow, okay, that does. Perfect. Any other questions? No. Okay. You want me to put it on hold for you? Oh, okay. Like, and you think this is why, like, when I know the person, I'm kind of like, all right, shoot me the money when you can. But if I don't know the person, I'm gonna say, well, send me a deposit and fucking, if you really want me to hold this snake, then you better send me some money. But then when it's someone you don't always press that envelope. You know what I'm saying? But God damn, when tire kickers become your homies, that fucking sucks. And I love all my homies. God bless them. And I know we're everyone's shopping around and let me fucking henny. But man, how do we not get so personal about sometimes? Like, and mind you, man, I've talked to other people like, yeah, bro, that fucking asshole told me to hold 4 snakes for 2 months and never hit me up. So there's people who are habitually like that. Like there's habitual fucking time wasters. I'm talking about people that are well known too. Like not even newbies. I'm talking about well-known fucking time wasters out there. But how do we delegate them? And how do we not let them ruin our fucking day? Who wants to go first?
That's tough. Yeah. I think that, you should have like terms like on your MORPH market site or whatever that if somebody's asking about something, if they're people that are like true buyers are typically ready to throw the money down. If I see the right animal for my projects, boom, I'm dropping that cash right away. I'm not going to tire kick if it's something that makes sense. People that are tire kickers, they're going to be like that. You got to be respectful. It's a hard line, right? You got to toe it. Like, don't waste my time, but also be respectful and, try and get, like, you want to give them the information, you want to help, but like at a certain point, once it goes to the, let me ask my wife stage, it's over at that point. You know
how many times I've inquired about something and I just didn't like the price and I'm like, dude, sorry, I can't pay that. At least I fucking told you I can't pay that and we end it. At least fucking be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Don't leave it open. Yeah, I agree.
Don't leave it open like a fucking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying. I'm trying not to judge people, but I judge people by doing that to me. Like, and I especially when I hear that he's habitual or she's habitual on doing this to other people, because that's fuck. That's no. I mean, listen,
This
we
is
all know
simple
tire
for
kickers
me.
come and go.
Yeah,
You
this is
gotta
very
think-
simple for me.
Okay.
If I don't get a deposit at the very least in 40 minutes of conversation, they're not serious. Listen, I'm the nicest guy, the most professional. I treat people the way I want to be treated. Okay. But in the first 30 to 40 minutes of a conversation, you know if you have a serious buyer or not. If they need 4 or 5 days to talk to you, they're not buying a snake. If you don't get a deposit, if you don't get 20% of the money that this animal is worth, or they're buying, what they're paying for it, if they can't send you 20% in the first 45 minutes, they're not buying the animal.
That's why I said it's better when I don't know the person, because like like say for instance on MORPH Market, right? If somebody inquires and they're asking question after question, it's business. I got to do what I got to do. I don't know the person. I can't really judge, because guess what? I've had so many people who left me the way how I'm talking that annoys me. And then all of a sudden they're like, I want to, you still have that snake? I want it. And that's why I'm like, fuck, like, holy shit. Glad I wasn't that big of a dick. You know what I mean? I'm glad I'm like, I just said, okay. But like, really, it's bad to judge people on MORPH Market when you don't know them. You don't know them at all. You don't know, like, if they're impulse buyers or if they wait 3 weeks or whatever. Like, like my wife, when she wants something, bro, I have to like fucking shake it out of her. Just buy it, because she'll like wait until like someone almost forces her to buy it. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's people out there who just that's their buying fucking like they do it when they're ready.
But MJ, knowing that person, you're probably gonna give them a favorable deal.
I'm tired of that.
Okay, you're doing your part. You're doing your part.
No, but I'm about to be judged.
They have to do
business is business, bro. I'm
okay,
tired.
but they have to do their part.
Yeah.
Their part is putting the deposit on the animal and putting it aside.
Yes.
And making it happen. If they're not doing that, then it's more than likely not going to happen.
Deposits talk.
Yeah, respect. I mean, the money talks for sure. I've had situations before where I've had somebody say, "Hey, I want this animal," and I say, "Okay, send me the deposit." And then somebody else hits me up in the same day, "Hey, I want this animal," and they sent the deposit. Like, what do you do in that situation? Depends on if they're the homie or not. Like, if it's somebody that you've connected with, that you've chatted with, or that you maybe have done business with in the past, you may be more inclined to go with the first one, right? But because then their word is good. But somebody just saying, "I'm going to send you the deposit," that money talks, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Especially nowadays, man. It just
deal isn't done.
Yeah,
deal isn't done until the money's in the bank.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah.
Now, were you gonna say something, Leo?
No, the deal isn't done till the money's in the bank. I've had people, I'm going to send you a deposit in an hour. They don't send it. Someone else buys the animal, and then guess what? They send you a message through MORPH Market telling you to go fuck yourself and all this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you have a good day, man. Money talks, bro.
At the shows for you, Matt, what do you feel like's been working as far as like that sells a lot for you at a show? Because shows are weird. We all know that. Like, you got some people who would have a table full of just triple recessives next to a table full of bells, blue dye Lucy's, and the blue dye Lucy table might do better. But what's your take, and what do you feel like is going to be a strategy for you going into this weekend?
Okay, so I would say that what typically does best at shows, like when I used to do crested geckos, and I'd be selling them at $50, $70 a piece. It's crazy. They flew right off the shelves, right? Ball pythons, it gets a little pricier, but like entry level snakes, I think are really what's going to sell. Things that are, have drastic pattern. Like sometimes, we're all, connoisseurs of some level, right? Like we're into all the morphs, and sometimes people just like a cool looking snake. They may not be like real in the reptile game. And sometimes the stuff that stands out, like I know a lot when I have like GHI stuff on my table, people seem real drawn to the funky pattern and the contrast. And like I did some couple pairings of like GHI Mojave stuff that was like
Oh, that stuff always does good, man.
Yeah, and it like literally it sells so fast. It's crazy. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Sometimes just having something that's a little different can make it, it can seal the deal too, right? Like we're all chasing a lot of the same stuff, and maybe I have this on my table, you have this on your table, and people are just gonna look at price. But when you have something that stands out, that's unique, that's when people are drawn in. I think that's for a sale at a show, that's the best way to do it.
And overall, like, would you say that it's been worth it for you? Like, because a lot of people, it takes a couple shows for them to kind of get the ball rolling. For you, do you feel like it's been worth it?
Well, it's tough. I'm coming from Arizona over, that's a 6 hour. It's not down the block, but yeah. It's like I touched on earlier. It's hard to, quantify the value of a show. Just being there gives you more credibility. And, maybe the person isn't even a buyer today, but they're like, hey, I met you at this show. I always encourage people to message me when to chat with them at a show, because it's nice to have a name and a face and have a connection to people, understand where, you can't remember everyone, right? It's hard. Your face is coming at you all day long, but yeah, I believe that. Yeah. But it is good to have those genuine connections with people at the shows. I think that's huge. They can not only be a customer, but they can become a friend too, right? Like I've definitely established some nice relationships with people in the industry.
I mean, yeah, that's on a customer to business standpoint. That's so smart and obviously important, but even mentorship relationships. And what I mean by that, just people obviously like who you kind of look up to in a sense that kind of just give you some sort of path, right? Because I'm not going to say, oh, like don't copy someone, but people lay out ideas all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? And what you do is you just kind of get creative and take whatever little crumbs or whatever little fucking cliff notes or whatever that you're getting from somebody, and you build off of it. You build your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody stand out like that for you? Like Matt, like anyone that you were like watching project wise for even back in the day or whatever that kind of inspired you to do what you're doing right now?
I mean, I guess you remember Ralph Davis?
Oh, yeah.
Ralph Davis had a pretty cool, he was kind of very cutting edge, and Justin sort of has slipped into that role as well. I mean, we're talking, but there's a lot of really high level players that have, awesome collections that I've seen them grow and do better over the years. Ozzy, he's got crazy cool stuff. I mean, who else, like, Straight Fire, he's one of your sponsors, I think, right? Like he's got a crazy collection. I mean, Kyle, Royal Ambassador, like I've seen his growth, right?
What a character. Shout out to Kyle.
He's something. I
want to bring him back
Miguel.
on. I want to bring him back on just because he's like entertaining to even look at. No offense, I'm just saying, like you're something else, bro.
Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that, really,
because he has history. Like he has a lot to speak on with like different dips and ups and all sorts of stuff, and he's invested crazy money straight off the bat. Like his first snake was like 20 something, like his first investment snake was like 20 something $100 or like, and like he always kept it at that level, like, but this is back then. Like we kind of look at people doing that now and it's kind of common, like, the JPs of the nowadays are kind of a common thing, right? But back then, like, no, bro, like there weren't people doing that a lot back then. You know what I'm saying?
People were investing in two or three jeans because that's all there was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't everything we have now. I mean, it's
crazy.
Matt, like back in the day, people would buy an albino. Like that's what Kyle did. He bought an albino. I bought an albino. That was my first investment snake.
Yeah.
My first one was a lesser pastel male that I bought. Okay, which sounds like nothing, but at the time it was, I don't know, $1,500 or something.
That's just with the shit, bro.
Yeah, like
my
it
first
was so
cost me $1,200.
And then I got a spider female. I made queen bees. That was my big first project I put together, which, hasn't aged well, but it's a pretty snake. I mean, like obviously nobody really wants pastels and spiders anymore, but that's just, the game, right? It changes. Things get switched up.
Another thing that I thought about, I don't know when I thought about it, but I was like, do you think it would change everything for pastel if spider didn't have that wobble? Like, let's just say if spider was a fucking solid ass snake, dude, those bumblebees and those killer bees, those things were fucking sick. Those things were sick as shit. I'll never forget. Like, I was like, dude, this is nuts. And I remember I named it Jizza. I'll never forget. It was a killer bee, and it was like the coolest snake ever. And then all of a sudden, like that didn't really happen until it got older. As it got older, that's when I like noticed. I was like, wow, what's wrong with this thing? But do you guys think it would kind of change the playing field a little bit for pastel if spiders was still in the game as far as not being known as a wobbler?
You mean for spider, right?
No, I mean like I mean like what pastel and spider, what they could do for each other. You know what I'm saying?
All together,
They well off each other. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Matt, you go first, but I have an opinion on this.
Okay. So I think that spider, the wobble and everything is a little overblown, to be honest. I mean, I haven't worked with a spider gene in many years now. Just like everyone, I kind of phased out. But you're right. It had some of the best combos. I had an old nerd poster. It was along came a spider, and it had all the spider genes all around it, and it was pretty badass. I remember that inspired me when I was like newer in this thing. But I don't know. I think spider does great stuff. I think it's very pretty, and in my experience, any lines I've worked with, very minimal, if any, wobble, to be honest. But I've seen some that are messed up and have neurological issues. I don't know, again, if that's a particular line or inbreeding or what, the cause. I know it's a flawed gene, but I think there's varying degrees to how much it's impactful of the animal's health.
Yeah.
Well, they've been saying recently that it's something in the ear tunnel. What I would say about spider, even if the wobble, it ended the whole spider market for good, right? Except for pets. For pets, people love them at tables. I only have 2 spiders left. I'll probably produce 1 clutch a year because I love spiders. But
They're still pretty.
When it comes to my take on it, it was part of the main foundation of the ball python market back in the day. I remember that poster. That poster was probably one of the best selling posters ever in the ball python industry. I think people are done with that pattern per se. Yeah. Also, I think we've moved on. It's not only the wobble, in my opinion.
It's funny how these things change over time. Think of like clowns, right? So like back in the day, like blade clowns, really clean lines were the shit. People loved the really reduced clowns, and now it's all about the pattern. You got to get something in there to disrupt the pattern, change it up. All the spot nose is sort of taking the spot for spider, to be honest. It's like kind of comparable. I think it's in the same complex even, right?
I fully agree.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out. So
and then if you're looking at other...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go.
I don't know if you've noticed this, Matt and MJ. There's some combos coming out. There's some combos coming out that don't even have spot nose in DG that look spider-esque. Have you noticed that?
Like Mario stuff, like the what do you?
There's some stuff that it kind of looks spider-esque and it doesn't have spider at all. So there's some combos coming out that you're like, holy shit, that looks spider-esque.
Is that its own gene, or do you know what the combo is?
No, it just the interaction of the genes.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, just the way it plays,
it just kind of
reduces the pattern and
spider.
Yeah, interesting.
Now, one thing about spider, and it took me a while to realize, like, oh, there's not really a relationship to this wobble thing between these 2 genes, and that's pinstripe. Like I thought, like, I had a time in my ball python collecting career that I had to get rid of a lot of spiders, and then I had this pinstripe hypo that I really liked, and I'm like, well, I guess I could keep one, but the pinstripe doesn't have that wobble; it's completely separate. But I also noticed, like, man, I feel like pinstripe is kind of losing a little bit of like. Maybe a little bit of its spunk, or like, I would see pinstripe clowns that looked really cool. But recently I saw something that the homie Antoine posted on his stories from DPR. And I guess it was a pinstripe that Justin produced. Did you guys see this fucking snake?
I think so. Yeah. I don't recall what it
shit. This thing is fucking nuts, bro. So pinstripe is killing it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That thing is amazing.
I love it so much.
That's a perfect example of him swaying the market, right? Like pinstripe, for all intents and purposes, was dead. I mean, it was very popular back in the day. Realistically, nobody's working a bunch of pinstripe projects, but I mean, sometimes the right combo just pops up and you're like, damn, that just works. And, obviously that one, I mean, it's got some other great genes in it too, by the way. Like, let's not overlook the
right. There are some powerful fucking codons in there.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. That thing is a banger for sure.
And lace. There's lace. Dude, think about a white lace. Think about a white lace version of this. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be as intense as far as markings, but who knows? We don't know.
Yeah. I fully agree with Matt. I'll probably have at the end of the season, I'll probably have 2 pins, maybe 1 pin left, and it has to do with jigsaw stuff.
So
pretty, but I'm done with pin. I've kind of moved on
with the pinstripe and spider. Those were big things. Remember, they do all the blasts back in the day, right? Well, now we've got spot nose and we've got leopard, and they're kind of in some ways act the same. Like the interaction is the same, and I think Orange Dream is even like our new pastel, right? Like it seems to be put in there and it works well. It's much cleaner. It shows the true color better. It's just like, back in the day, there was like spinner blasts and all of that. That was the popular stuff. It was the combination of pinstripe, spider, and pastel or super pastel. And now it seems like these are like the new version of those genes, like an improved version of those genes. Does that make sense?
Good point. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because back then, when pastel came out, everyone loved it because it was pastel. Nobody knew anything else but pastel. Even when super pastel came out, right? It was kind of like, wow, this is cool looking. But we're talking about something that actually ages better with time. Like I noticed a lot of stuff that Ozzy produces, the high OD shit. Those things look fucking killer as adults. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, are you guys all about putting OD back into each other, or are you trying to differentiate or keep different like OD projects from super OD projects? I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Can you take that one, Emilio?
Well, real quick, my OD smacks. I'm gonna take that line from MJ. I'm not gonna call it high OD, but if I wanted to, there's people that use that term loosely. I got some OD stuff, and I work it into certain projects. I love it. I love OD. I just have my own foundational stuff that I got back in the day, and I've just been making it better.
Are you gonna avoid putting OD into other OD though?
I haven't brought any new OD animals in from the outside.
No, I'm saying, okay, let's think for the future real quick. I'm saying, let's say you produce a snake and it has OD in it and you're hold back. Are you going to put OD back into that snake? Are you looking to make high OD stuff?
I of course, if it works out, if it's something I want, with a super in it, definitely. It all depends on the color.
I think the move is to try and keep it clean if you can, right? Keep the ODs OD, the high ODs high ODs, unless you got a pairing that just makes sense. If you're like, it works on every level, like, so what? You probably genetic test it anyways. I have a couple high OD animals and definitely, a good amount of just OD. And I don't know. I feel like I work. I haven't had a chance really to cross those two. But I think it just makes sense to know, right, that it's a high OD or not. I don't know. I haven't hatched enough high ODs out to really say anything big on that. I can't ID those. Are they very obvious over a regular Orange Dream as a hatchling?
I haven't bred. I don't know. I
sure.
haven't done
OD.
Super.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys.
What's up?
What do you think? Or correct me if I'm wrong if it's been done. I don't think it's been done, but what do you think a super mandarin, super OD hypo would look like?
Sick. I think it'd be a great. I think that's a fantastic combo. I'm really coming on board with the mandarin stuff, and that's been around for years. I don't have any in my collection currently, but I aspire to get into that. 100%.
True or false? It's 2023. Did the mandarin, as far as like popularity go, drop a tiny bit?
I don't know, man. I think it's maybe you're saying in this last year. Maybe there's more hype in 2022, perhaps, but I think there's a lot of legs on the project.
Oh, I think there's so much potential on that. 110%. Because I've seen it. I ain't gonna, I know what these eyes saw, and I've seen fucking shit. I saw what I saw at Troy's table 2 years ago, or whatever, and I was like, this is the future. This is nuts. You know what I'm saying? But
let me jump in here and give you my opinion.
Okay, can I finish
Sorry.
though first?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like it kind of goes back to like, let's show a gravel, right? Like we see a gravel, which let's be honest, to the person who doesn't know what the fuck they're looking at, is that a gravel or is that a normal, right? Really hard to tell what a real gravel looks like unless you look at the bell, you know what you're looking like, right? But let's say you make a super gravel. Is there any questioning that snake whatsoever? No. You know what you're looking at, right? You're seeing that something that is like, holy shit. And I see that with the Mandarin. I see a Mandarin, normal Mandarin kind of being difficult to ID. But then when I see that being put into another proper Mandarin and making a super, there's no questioning it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Go ahead, E.
Yeah. It's like the white lace, right? It's the super form that really is, you know, it acts as
dude, I got a lace that looks fucking fire. I don't know. I think lice, my bad. I think lace betters with age, 110%.
I bought the white lace, my white lace yellow belly as a super because I didn't want to have to deal with the IDing issue, even though I would have been fine, but still I preferred to stay away from that. Now, getting back to Mandarin, eventually when I get into Mandarin, it has to have hypo. For me, I will not work anything Mandarin without hypo. It has to have hypo. That's my take on it.
So you're saying when you buy Mandarin, it's going to have hypo in it. That's what you're saying.
It has to have hypo. Without hypo, to me, Mandarin did go down 2 or 3 categories in my book.
Ooh, dang.
That's not
those hypo Mandarins though. That's pretty nice. I don't know. That's a fantastic combo, and I just think that you could go a lot of directions with that. That would make a lot of sense. You could plug that into clown projects or DG projects or whatever. You know, roll it all together. I mean, take a while to get there, but you make some nice stuff.
But that said, the snake that got everybody on the bandwagon was a super Mandarin hypo.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you mean?
That's all I'm saying, guys.
No,
what snake are we talking about? Because I feel like everyone maybe had a different snake that put them on the bandwagon with Mandarin. I mean, I know the one I saw.
TJ's super Mandarin hypo got everybody on that bandwagon, bro.
Wait a minute, then you're saying the snake that I saw, the snake I saw was the super Mandarin hypo.
Well, TJ's most influential animal is a super Mandarin hypo.
The one that, and it's always that
Justin just came out with these.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Justin came out with these videos, finally addressing the fact that, you know, most people thought it had hypo. It did have hypo. It's a super Mandarin hypo.
So, but what I'm trying to get at is when I was looking at this thing at Troy's table, it wasn't labeled hypo.
Mm-hmm.
So he found out
his was a super Mandarin. Maybe his was a super Mandarin.
Yeah.
But the snake that got everybody's attention and blew everything out the water was a super Mandarin hypo.
It wasn't me though. I'm telling you right now, the snake that got me hyped up was just a super Mandarin. Period.
Okay.
Because
it looks better with hypo.
I saw it in person. And I saw this snake, and it literally drew me across from the other side of the show. I'll never forget. And Troy had it in a big display case, and that's when I met TJ for the first time. And he told me, "Oh, this is TJ's snake," and I was literally in awe over it. I couldn't believe what the hell I was staring at. That's why I wasn't sure. I was like, "Wait a minute, did that snake? Was that?" I mean, that's why I'm confused right now because I didn't know snake that.
But for me, being in the game a long time, man, that super Mandarin hypo is what really got my attention. The super Mandarin didn't do anything for me.
Anything I have working right now, ball pythons, is gonna have hypo in it at some point. Hypo is going in all of my shit. I mean, it's my future. I'll tell you that. And it's always been, but at this point where I see hypo going, hypo helps everything out in this world. I would say. I don't know what doesn't go good with hypo. I can't even think what doesn't go good with hypo. You know.
Do you like True Ghost? Like, I don't know if I'm as big a fan of True Ghost, but everything else is, so like an Xanthic hypo, like I feel like it pulls away from it a little bit personally, but I like the
Matt. Have you had a True Ghost in your hand?
No, I've never held one, so maybe I appreciate it in person.
They're blue.
Yeah.
Are you an Xanthic lover?
Well, I have no.
Are you an Xanthic lover?
I'm not in the project, but I do like them. Yeah.
Matt, are you an Xanthic lover, Matt? Answer the question.
Yes, I love the Xanthic.
Hey, I'll tell you this, bro. my favorite two snakes in my collection right now have hypo.
Okay.
I hit my first 3 true ghosts this year.
Okay.
These snakes look unreal,
Okay.
bro, unreal, incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
I
you see
believe
one in
it. I
person,
believe it.
you're
Maybe
gonna
I
love
need
it.
to. Yeah.
Trust me.
I need to get in on that.
And we're talking about age, hypo and age goes hand in hand with this true ghost shit, bro. Only gets better with age,
Yeah.
bro. They smack. I've been able to see true
I'm
ghosts in
prepared.
person, not videos, but they're nice, bro.
I'm prepared to tell you guys, I love DG. DG Clown to me is top tier, right? Compared to Hypo Clown. But when you put a true ghost next to a DG Xanthic, blows it out of the water. It's not even close. Whoever tells you different is lying.
So you think those projects should be married? You think they should, have all 3?
Yes.
That's the
That's
move.
where we're all going, brother. Trust me.
People.
That's
So Xanthic has really gained some traction. As
It
of
has.
a couple of years. Like people ask for it at tables. They're like, "Hey, you know Xanthic?" And I'm not in it. It's not my project. I appreciate it, but I think people that are in that game could probably do pretty well.
That's what drew me to Amelia was his Xanthic game, 110%. I was really like pretty impressed on the shit that he was showing me, and I'm like, wow, this is the shit that not a lot of people are working with, and they're not grounded with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Xanthic has been one of your silent killers for a while, Emilio. Like you're just
that's
patiently.
What's your line? What do you work with?
VPI.
VPI is the better, right? Like I think the VPI stands.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say TSK is a beautiful line. MJ is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But no, it's the most worked. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But tenfold. So that makes a really big impact. I gotta give a shout out to the sponsor, right? To Justin, that DG Xanthic Clown.
Yeah. That thing's wild.
Bro.
For sure.
I want to state for the record, Justin is not a sponsor. Clutches. All right. So can we just can we not?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And Levance isn't a sponsor either. I love you guys.
Yeah. Plugging your sponsors.
I just want to correct things. It's Clutch. Out to the Clutch team.
Clutch.
Not Canova. I want nothing to do with Canova. I'm just kidding. I love you, Canova. I love you.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. And I want to say, dude, I'm mind blown, okay? Because Jeremy, this shout out to me, Jeremy, but he's confirming right now that it was hypo in that snake that I looked at.
I thought I heard something along those lines.
Now hold on. Now that kind of changes things for me now. Like this kind of, but then again, like, fuck, man. I don't know now. Now I feel like I've never seen a true Super Mandarin. I've only seen a Super Mandarin hypo, which I don't know. I guess Emilio, to his point, if you're gonna do Mandarin, you best have hypo in it. I think that's the kind of the, like we all say, if you like cookies, you can have it with some milk and it goes better, right? And I think this is what we're looking at right now. Hypo and Super Mandarin go hand in hand. Dang, I just wish there was anyone out there legitimately working with super or posting Super Mandarin stuff without hypo in it. Anyone you guys could think of who's making Super Mandarin stuff right now that for sure has no hypo in it? Because now I'm curious.
There's some out there for sure.
Who? Come on, Emilio. Who?
Off the top of my head, I can't. I mean, you could go into MORPH market and just look at sold animals if you wanted to.
Okay, now let me ask you guys this, since I'm going to pull this up. But Super Mandarin, there's a big talk about people not having real Mandarin, and some of the Mandarin being kind of like boo-foo. What's your guys' take on that?
I can't speak to it really. I have heard that. I was never particularly impressed with Mandarin back in the day, but it seems like because that's this is a gene that's been around for some time, but it seems like there's been a lot more traction in the last couple of years. I mean, that stuff TJ's got. There's some very nice animals in his. I've browsed his MORPH market a couple of times, and I've been tempted to pull the trigger on some stuff. I mean, he's got really cool stuff. I would get in the Mandarin project for sure.
Fudge. He has a Mandarin triple het clown hypopide. That is nuts.
Solid.
Oh my lord. Yeah. Okay. What does NR stand for? Because I do see NR in front of Mandarin a lot. What does that mean?
The original importer, I think, right?
Okay. For the guy from
The
Europe,
European guy, right?
Yeah, I can't think of the name though.
Niles.
That's how you differentiate
Me
that.
neither.
that
I'm not sure.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Niles. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Now, big investment project for you will be the Clown Hypo DG. That's the bread and butter as far as the pinnacle of projects for you, correct, Matt?
Yeah. That's where I'm at now. I've been kind of rolling some smaller projects too, some Grail stuff and some Ultramel projects where I'm trying to roll Ultramel and Clown and Hypo, kind of get the Ultra Go Clown. But those are much smaller scale. Most of my focus is on the Hypo DG Clown stuff. I've thought about adding something to that, maybe, whatever that would be, if it was, going to be the VPI or add, who knows, Pied, Sunset. It's hard to say what direction you go in, but you got to lay those blocks way ahead of time, right? So what do you think? What would be an improvement on that project?
I don't know, man. I mean, at the end of the day, and Milo, you go after this if you want, but I mean, I think the only thing that could really make a DG Clown Hypo cooler than what it is, if we're saying recessive wise, I would say puzzle. Add puzzle to that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't tell you too much, but I've gotten pictures of a puzzle clown.
Yeah.
And this thing is fucking nuts looking. Now, there might be speculation that it doesn't actually have clown in it, and we're waiting for that result, I guess. But if this thing does have clown in it, the whole talk between puzzle and clown not being effective or whatever, that's out the fucking window right now. I'll tell you that much. Because this shit's nuts.
I've seen a puzzle clown before.
Somebody showed me one where it's very minimal on the back, but that was it. And that's the only one I've seen. But like I said, I can't give you details on the one that I saw recently a few weeks ago, and I'm just waiting to see what the update is. But I mean, Milo, you've definitely heard this talk between puzzle and clown by itself, not having much going with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of them. One was very nice, and then the other one it didn't do anything. So I think we need to see more hits, and we will.
So are you guys in the puzzle project?
I'm not. I wish I was, but I'm not. I love puzzle, bro. I think puzzle is, because understand, bro, I've been to Will Morrow's house, and Will showed me, and this is 2 years ago, he showed me DG puzzle stuff. And that's when I'm like, the future is beauty with age. That's the future. And that's why I'm like, holy, because Will was busting out 3-4-year-old snakes that look like fucking, they look just as popping as babies. And I'm like, whoa, this is where we're headed. And that's when I got super excited. The puzzle, man, I just, God dang, you can't do it all, Matt. You can't.
Right. No, you
will soon, bro. Yeah, you'll have some puzzle stuff.
I can't. It gives me anxiety. It took me 4 years to get DG, literally 4 years. I was talking about how I needed DG on this podcast for 4 years until I finally got it a year ago. So
it's crazy. DG took as long to catch on as it did. It used to not be a particularly popular gene, and I was like, "Wow!" When I saw photos of DG back in the day, I'm like, "Man, that is so clean." It's the evolution of things. It's funny. It just takes somebody hitting that right animal for whatever to be popular. And puzzle, I'm sure, has some real legs. I'm not in the project currently, but I got respect for it. There's some cool combos I've seen.
So
I love it. I just want to ensure that I keep the puzzle pattern at all times.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Matt, what's okay? We said puzzle, or I said puzzle. What would be something, and let's keep Pied out of this too, but what was something that you would feel like would be very beneficial to a triple recessive project like DG Hypo Clown?
Well, I've thought of that. There's a couple directions you could go in, right? Sunset seems to have, it's getting some traction. Some people like it, some people hate it, but I think you could probably improve on that drastically. Also just the VPI route too, right? Like that's a real, I think there's some potential for that. I was always a little bit thrown off by the concept of the true ghost. Maybe I haven't seen enough of them or appreciate them in person, but I wasn't sure if that would be a benefit. You don't want to detract from the combo, right? You don't want to just cram genes in something to cram genes in it. You want it to be something that will improve it. So I think that could be another way to go. I've been trying to figure that out. I'm really haven't laid any groundwork or minimal groundwork for quad stuff. But you get those animals now. I mean, you got to think down the line there may be a value, but if it's a direction you go in that doesn't make sense, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You don't want to get something in there that's going to completely mask the animal.
Yeah.
I see people using albino and
Yeah.
and lavender albino and
Just because they can. You're like, fuck
it
it.
just makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Because think about. Yeah, go ahead, Mila.
Matt, I think Sunset Hypo Clown DG would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The Exantic one's an easy one to say, but I think Sunset
Yeah.
Hypo DG Clown is going to be incredible.
And if you want to take it a step further, like let's give Ultramel some love, man. I personally, man, I'm a fan of Ultramel. I think it has just a nice tone and could, like have you seen like a Sunset Ultramel?
Yes.
Yes.
Tack some hypo on that. I mean, like, I don't know. That's a nice combo.
Right.
I think that could be a direction.
He's on the Sunset team, MJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this podcast right now. Don't worry. I'm just kidding. No, man.
But good points. Very good points.
Yeah, but what does hypo do to Sunset? Make it relevant?
It looks great, bro. In my
I can
opinion.
see that, yeah. That's I don't know. Anything, like you said earlier, hypo, I've never seen one project I was like, oh, hypo took away from it. Like it's, everything, right? Everything is better with hypo. Hypo everything.
Yeah, but I will also say too, Ultramel, man, very powerful. And I remember seeing an Ultramel clown for the first time in person at Marshall Mendez's house.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, these are so nice. And then I will tell you, like, Ultramel, because I like Monarch. I've been seeing, because I like the darker contrast of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a very fair believer that they're different. Like, I know that they put out that they're not the same, right? So that's why I was like, okay, you need to stop comparing them because they're not the same. Leave that alone. But then my boy Brock, our homie Brock, came out with an Ultramel Pied, and that's what I was like, and also Hypopide. Like, another reason I'm like, look what Hypo and Pied does to each other. Like, wow, that's impressive. But then Ultramel Pied, man, that's a good combination right there. Like, I feel like, because you want stuff that's like candy when it comes to Pied, like, but stuff that's crystal clear to see, not that's like, washed out. Yeah. And Ultramel is just a really good quality genetic, man, for sure.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think, you said Marshall, I have an Ultramel clown from him. I mean, he's got great stock, and they just look so nice. Like, they photograph well, but like in person, it's like you really appreciate it when you get to get the animal in your hands and you can see it.
Yeah, I'm an Ultramel guy,
mm-hmm.
but I could tell you guys I like Monarch. Monarch is nice. Matt, what do you think of let's do a quick comparison, because I'm gonna give Monarch the edge when it comes to clowns. But tell me what you think about the comparison between a Monarch Pied and an Ultramel Pied.
I don't know that I can say that I'm not really too invested in Pied. I know it's hard to, say that out loud. People really they love their Pied, but I do like a high pattern one, right? Those are pretty cool. I just hate when it gets just all washed out and it's just a white snake. It kind of takes away from me, but I haven't seen one. Okay. Do you feel that the contrast works better in the Pied?
No, the Ultramel Pied blows the Monarch Pied away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who made Monarch Pied? Emilio?
Damn, bro, it's a couple people.
I'll look it up.
Shit. Man, Brock knows. I'm not sure.
Let's see.
But there's no comparison.
I don't see any Monarch Pied on lot.
They're not even close. Somebody in the chat could probably remind us real quick who hit the Monarch Pied.
Yeah, but I remind you though, Justin was the first one to kind of show what Monarch could do to a clown combo. I was kind of a huge fan of that. I'm not gonna lie, but it's different. Yeah. And also, Monarch is so behind compared to Ultramel, like that too. Like, and I feel like don't you guys feel like there's still so much we haven't seen yet when it comes to genes that are just not as well grounded into the hobby yet, like a lot of these other genes are. And what's crazy is like you won't look. I respect the quad game, the quad recessive game, but I'm kind of out of my like thought process right now. Like because we're starting over with doubles. Like think about how many doubles haven't been made yet. Like double recessive projects with supers and stuff that have not been shown yet. There's a shit ton. Triples, even more. I rather let the people who are doing quads to do their thing, and I'll learn from them. Like meaning when I get up there, I'll see what they do and what not to do and what to do. Like I'll let them be my let them teach. But that's why a lot of people need to I get it. Like you could do quad fucking albino exantic whatever, right? But like why don't you wait and do a quad that you really want to fucking kind of build a foundation on versus just like let's shoot for the moon and see what we can make. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to stay relevant, right? So you got to be laying the work, right? But I don't disagree with what you're saying. Like somebody else can make that mistake, and then you can learn from their mistake. Someone
who can afford to make that mistake.
Man, I'm telling you, yeah. Some of these animals, they get some, they can get pricey. I mean, it's a lot of work, though. You're just talking about a simple double. It's like think about that's 2-3 generations. I mean, it takes a while to get there. So. It's good to have the forethought, the foresight. And I guess if you work something in and it doesn't work, you don't have to breed for that,
What do you guys think about a morph out there that does better with less morphs versus putting whatever the hell you want into it? And I'm about to get to this morph in just a second. I'm going to wait for Emilio's reaction. Maybe Emilio could predict what morph I'm going to say. It's recessive. But Matt, let me ask you that. Would you invest in a morph that is kind of like, be careful what you put in it because it's not really like for sure don't put pastel in it. You do that pattern's gone. You know what I'm saying yet? You picking up what I'm saying yet, Emilio? You know what morph I'm talking about, buddy?
Fully.
All right.
Fully.
I don't know. Yeah.
Say Emilio, what morph am I talking about?
Monsoon.
There it is. Monsoon.
Monsoon. Yeah.
I've seen leopard monsoon fire, Mojave monsoon fire.
I love monsoon, by the way. That's my shit.
Right.
I love it.
But for instance, monsoon, and am I right or wrong, Emilio? Like, do you have to be very careful with what you put into monsoon?
I want to see the pattern, bro. If you're putting something in there that wipes out the pattern, what the hell are you doing it for?
You need a high contrast. You need like a lavender or a DG or something that's gonna, ultramel, something that's gonna create. You can't do too much outside of that, right? You're either gonna wipe the pattern or you're gonna enhance it, and that's it. It's gonna be busy no matter what,
Do you think there's any bit as far as potential with sunset monsoon?
I think so. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah. Here's the thing, though, right? If you don't have special in there, it might be a really dark animal. That's where we gotta be careful.
Special gene?
Yes. Yeah. I think it would need special, or it would need
fire.
It would need fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would need cypress. It would need something in that realm. If you just do a simple monsoon sunset, it might be super dark.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how some genes can go light or dark depending, like what the combo is. It's weird.
What about monsoon and pied? Did that turn out to be something to shoot for, or not really?
I don't know. No, that's probably been done, right? Has that?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, I remember we had Jaffe on the show, and he was getting blown up by Austin because they hit a monsoon pied. No, I never saw that. I never saw what it looked like.
They hit a few. They already posted them. It's on Austin's.
I'll check it out.
And Brock Wagner hit a high white one, a really high white one. You can see the real nice head pattern on it.
Okay.
I mean,
can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
I was gonna say pied at one point was something where I'm like, I don't know if I want to work with it because how difficult it could be to ID certain things. All right. But then there's also the chance of getting something that's a high white. Like that's where it's like, okay, maybe you have markings or maybe a little bit of a hint of what this snake could be, but it's also a high white. So in that case, what do you do with that high white? You keep it, right? Or what would you do with that? Like, because that's a hard snake to sell right now. Like, let's be honest. If you are trying to sell a pied that is not obvious of what's in it, are you going to really sell that snake for what it's worth? Probably not.
No, probably not. Yeah. Yeah, that is the worst part of ID animals.
If you go to
no, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah. If you go to Brock Wagner's page, this
Go Go
I
ahead.
thought you
What
said
about-
go ahead.
Awesome, by the way. He's got great stuff. I've
Yeah.
done some business in the past.
Yeah, Brock
Good
Wagner, the one he hit is a simple two gene recessive. You could see
Okay.
it's high white, but you could see in the head where it has the monsoon pattern and the dots and the speckling. You could see
Mhm.
it. The combos that Austin hit, you could also see it, but it's a little bit more covered up. And there's pattern on there, so there is no connection to monsoon pied being a high white animal, which is very encouraging. It might not be it might not be a combo that I really want to hit, but it would probably be, a byproduct that I wouldn't mind hitting.
Oh wait, so these have pastel in it. So this kind of changes things a little bit.
Yeah, pastel kind of
Fucked it
change
up.
it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to say fuck it up. I don't mean to say that.
Muddied it, like it
It's
just
still this
Yeah.
is still really hard. Like this is an impressive snake to hit. Like
for sure.
mad props to fucking to Austin for hitting this snake.
yeah.
But we haven't just seen we haven't seen or no, you said Brock made a monsoon pie
High
without
white.
pastel, or because I thought all his pastel. I thought
And it
all
was
his
just
monsoon,
monsoon pied. It's just high white.
but very high white. Like you can't see any markings.
Yeah,
on
but
it,
no, you could see the head. You could see it's a monsoon.
but not
And
like
then Austin also has
What?
another combo posted as well. I think it's Mojave pastel.
Mojave pastel monsoon, or is there pie in there too?
Yeah, I believe so. There's two of them.
Hmm.
Pastel
go.
fan of monsoon pie.
Okay, Phantom Mojave. Yeah. That see in the head, you could see it.
So
Yeah,
in a
so-
case like this, like I mean, now we have to wait for pastel not to be in the mix, correct?
Yeah. What's encouraging though is that there's pattern on there.
Yeah.
On both animals. That's encouraging for me.
Like that's more pattern than what you would see on just a super pastel monsoon or a pastel monsoon is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is that worry about that combo being a high white animal all the time is not there anymore.
Oh, got you. So there's hopes of it just
Worth
not being
pursuing.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because they said that about leopard, right? They said a lot of leopard is high white, from what I've heard. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Have any of you guys heard about
I've heard
leopard
that,
pie being high whites a lot? And I've produced not a lot of leopard pies, but I've produced more mid to low whites than I have high whites to leopard. So I think there's a lot that have to go with like what are the odds of hitting a mid to low pie to a high white pie. I think it's fucking all luck. I don't know. I think it's all.
You wanna show that monsoon pied real quick that Wagner hit?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. Did he just post it, or is this something recent?
Yeah, all those animals were posted in a 12-hour period
Oh wow! All right.
because Wag hit it, and then Austin finally showed the others.
You called him Wag.
Swag.
Swag. All right. All right. Is it the head one right here? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see it in that
That's dope.
pattern.
But it came out the egg though. Like this is.
Yeah. I think there's another picture.
Where?
Maybe it's on his stories. Who knows?
He got no
It's probably in
story.
a story,
Dang.
or is that a two? That's a two?
Oh, here we go. Two pictures.
picture post?
There we go. There we go. Oh, there's more. There's more.
That's high white.
Wow! Look at the head, bro.
Yeah, but look at the head. That shit is incredible.
That's very neat. This is very neat.
Yeah.
Wow! Look at that.
There we go. Okay.
Whoa.
So that thing's all white, pretty much.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Imagine some pattern on that thing.
Yeah.
Wait, so the left is what? That's just a regular monsoon, or is that a pinstripe monsoon? What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like a monsoon head pied, probably. I'm not sure.
Okay. Does that look like a normal monsoon to you though? I thought they were lighter than that, but I mean it's a baby, so
It could be a special.
Yeah. I think there may be something else in that.
Yeah.
oh my lord. But overall monsoon fan or not, you would say, Matt. What do you think about monsoon?
It's okay. It doesn't necessarily do it for me, but I see the potential in it. Again, you just it's so easy to get that shiny syndrome where you're like, what's the hot new thing, and just jump
It's
into
cold
it,
on
right?
something. Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to be excited about what you're producing. And like the monsoon, it doesn't do it for me, but I do think that, you know, creating some contrast with that cool pattern, changing the color of it, I think it's definitely got some directions that it could be taken in.
I feel bad, man, because I made some people happy not too long ago because I kind of convinced them that I was probably going to get invested in Sunset, because how happy I was to see a cool looking Sunset, which was a Sunset GHI. But GHI is important genetic to me. And with GHI, it needs to look good as a super. It has to carry that weight for me. It's important. Super GHIs are important for my future. And I just didn't like super GHI Sunsets. Just wasn't for me. So all that gone right out the window.
Yeah.
See ya.
I just like the Sunset GHI. The super's terrible.
Yeah. But then also too, I'm like, wait a minute. If you just chill with the GHI Sunset and add hypo and Mojave and like let's think about what makes a GHI epic: Mojave and pastel.
Yeah.
Dude, pastel Mojave GHIs, they murder it. Oh my god, and they look good till the end of time.
Put some blackhead in there. You know, you ever seen some of them where they start mixing some darkening genes on top of those? Oof, they look, you know, some black pastel or blackhead, anything that's like dark chocolate. You know, that's all cool directions to go in. I like how the color changes so much.
Hey Matt, real quick, that chocolate combo you hit, man.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that, bro.
We don't even get. I took 3 animals and set them aside out here. I wanted to talk about.
You're gonna bust them out? Let's do it.
Yeah, I figured, a little show and tell, have some fun with it. So I got this one. Listen, table that one for a second, okay? I got one I want to show you right now that's kind of a fun one.
We're gonna give you the big screen. Take it over. This is all you, bud.
So I don't know how well this is gonna show, but this is my chondro ball, and I've posted some stuff. I brought it to the Bomb Project show, but I mean, check that thing out. Don't that look like a chondro?
Yeah, that looks like a yellow neonate.
Yeah.
Wow. What is that?
Well, all right, hold on. Where's my clutch card? So I'm not 100% sure on the genetics of this one. Like realistically, I had like a fire, red stripe, yellow belly, double het male that I bred to a pastel inchy double het hypo clown. So, you know, best guess on this one is probably like maybe it's like a super inchy spot nose fire. You know, it's probably definitely a clown and maybe even a hypo. It's really hard to say for sure. I probably will genetic test it just to
wait. Matt, do me a favor. Say the pairing one more time. Tell me the pairing.
So I have I believe the sire to this was multi-sires, right? But it was
great. One of those? Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a mystery, but it's kind of a fun mystery, right? But anyways, it was fire, red stripe, yellow belly, double het, clown, hypo. No, clown DG. Oh. And then it was 50% het hypo to a pastel inchy double het hypo.
Oh, wow. So you're saying there might be clown hypo in this snake, possibly? Yeah,
it's a possibility. It's hard to say. I mean, look at the spot nose. If it's got the spot nose in there, it darkens it all up. But anyways, it's aging well, you know, getting some size.
The back interaction on the dorsal says clown all day.
Yep.
Yeah, I think definitely on the clown. No question on that one.
And also the quality of the snake too. Like that's a good looking snake, bro.
Yeah. I mean, just, you know, like, all right, bringing it back like that. Doesn't that just look like a chondro though? I don't know. It's fun.
It's crazy.
Fun, interesting new project. We'll see. I may repeat that pairing again and see if I hit something else. There's only one in the clutch that looked like that. So obviously staying here.
Badass.
So this one is pretty cool. Just, I don't know if you guys are into like hypo red stripe stuff.
I love red stripe. I love red stripe. Yeah.
Well, it works really well. Now, the colors are probably not going to carry over on this one. But, I mean, in person, this thing is so orange. I like it a lot. And
that's just red stripe hypo, or what's
red stripe hypo, yellow belly, orange dream. It's also a 66% het clown. I think there's another gene in there. I did this big, sometimes you get so much in, it's kind of hard to tell, but this one, it's kind of going into shed a little bit. It's a beautiful.
I like that. a lot.
Yeah, that one. I think there's some legs on that too. You get that in a visual clown. I mean, it's going to be pretty nice. But all right, so here's the banger. This is the one that people like. This one.
This shit's hot.
So this was me and Marvin from Elegant Anomalies. We did a joint pairing, and it was a chocolate that was 66% het for DG, and I had a Wookiee DG that I didn't even know was het hypo, and turned out both of them were hets.
Wow.
So
damn,
a lot of luck on that. But yeah, it's really nice. I don't know. It doesn't really show as well.
And what is that for the viewers?
This one is going to be a chocolate
DG
hypo DG.
Yeah. Sneaky post this. That's probably the hottest snake on your page right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's love too. I'm putting it on there. Like in this lighting, it's kind of hard to appreciate the dorsal, like how bright, how much it pops, and then how if you look on my page, I do some outdoor video, and that really shows you what you got.
I also.
So are you gonna take this snake? Are you taking the snake to Pomona?
So I'm actually not doing this Pomona.
Oh, you're not?
No. Yeah, I didn't want to correct you earlier when you said something, but I'm going to do the what is it? The June one, where they're going to do the big
the big one in June.
Yeah. So that's the plan. I just got back from doing that show with D and KG, the Bomb Projects one, and it was in downtown. And
yeah, I feel really bad for not kicking at your table, but my knee was in so much pain, bro. Like I swear to God, I was hobbling. I almost didn't go, but I was like, I gotta go, and I went, but bro, I was in so much pain. I was looking to get the fuck in and get the fuck out. And
Did you take those stairs?
Yeah, no, I took the elevator. Fuck,
oh my God. That place was funny. It was interesting. I felt like I was in a Blade movie, Like it was just the craziest spot. Like
it's crazy when you walked outside, you're like, oh my God, we're in downtown LA.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, I'm not from LA, so to me,
somebody shitting in a coffee can right in front of me. LA's quite the place, bro. Dang, so both my homie Matt Summers is taking this one off too. And I just found that out today. I'm like, wow, thanks, Matt Summers.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I mean, listen, what to do as far as the certain shows that you feel like are worth vending and aren't vending. I mean, at the end of the day, it'd be cool, it'd be nice to vend any show you can, but you got to be smart, you got to be strategic about it, and you got to do what you feel is right, but Dan, are you gonna at least pull up and say hi, or what you're doing?
No, I'm not rolling over for this one. I'm just gonna take it easy, hang out with the family, kind of decompress and get over the holidays. But shows, I mean, it's a grind. It's a real, you gotta bring 110% and really, be all in, and to engage with so many people, while on some level it's like energizing, it's also sort of taxing, right? And after a show, I'm just ready to just unwind, and it's a stressful, it's a fun, like I'm not talking down on shows, it's just so much work, the grind, and especially if you got to drive. I mean, it's 6 hours for me. So if you got like a 6 hour drive, like good luck even driving that after a show. You're so tired. I always try and go the next day if possible. So it adds time.
My thing with shows is like, for the most part, people commit the whole weekend or whatever to do the show. But guess what happens when you come home? You got all that shit.
It's a whole other,
you got more work waiting for you as soon as you get home. And it's like, dude, it definitely takes a couple fucking breaths out of you, and you're just like, fuck, that's why I'm like, man, Troy and all those guys who hit shows,
crazy, right?
I'm like, God bless you, bro. You guys are nuts. I don't know how you do it.
That is the wildest. Yeah, how many shows like Troy? He goes everywhere. I mean, and we're not talking about short trips,
cross the country trips. Troy will be at the Pomona Reptile Super Show. Best believe it. All right. He has one of the coolest tables, by the way. Him, Civil Serpents, Antoine. Oh man, Antoine Hood.
Yeah, Antoine's not.
That's sad, bro. That hurts my heart. Antoine, I miss you, dog. We lost Antoine Hood, not lost him, but California lost him, and now he's in North Carolina, just fucking doing his thing. And
he likes it there though, so that's I've never really been to Carolinas, but I hear they're beautiful. and he seems to be getting along well there, and getting
Yeah.
established.
Mad props to those that do shows cross country, very far away. I did my furthest one last month, and it was different. I
4 hours.
hit the Alabama.
How many hours, Emilio? How far was it?
I'd say it was 600 miles away. We were right on the Florida Alabama line. It was different. Let's just say that.
Damn.
So you're in Southern Florida,
good.
right?
I'm sorry.
Southern Florida.
I'm in
You're
South Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
a pretty
far.
good. That's a trek. It was basically in state, but like all the way across the state.
Yeah. Pretty. They call that part of Florida. The extension of Alabama, pretty much, right?
All right, so Matt, I got a wrap-up question for you,
Yeah.
and Emilio, if you want to get one ready for him, that'd be great. But for right now, obviously, a lot of different things are being said as far as how to do things and how not to do things. But if you have any advice for any new, okay, let's just say there's somebody ready to breed this year. They've been in the game for a couple years, right?
Okay.
They waited for this moment. 2024, they have females ready to breed, but should they breed or should they not? Because they're so worried about the market. What would you have to say on that?
Well, I think you got to be able to, place those pythons, right? Like, I think they should breed, right? If they're excited and they want to do it, and this is what they've been working toward, and that's the goal, right? Just be selective about what you're doing. You don't want to just overload the market. You don't want to have animals you're sitting on. You want to be able to find these animals homes, ideally sell them and make a little profit, right? I mean, hey, if you break even in this game and you love what you do, it's a win if you ask me personally. And, I still encourage people to, pursue their dreams, right? Like go after it, but have a plan.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Amelia, what you got?
What I would say to that is, if you raise these animals the last 2 to 3 years. Oh, I'm sorry. You're asking my question.
No,
My bad.
No, you can speak to this too, though. Speak to it.
There you go.
If you've raised these animals for 2 to 3 years, hopefully you were strategic, and you have another basis for what's coming from these pairings. Of course, you should breed them.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you just shelf your future?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think people have to be selective in what they're doing, so they have
for sure.
a place to,
For sure.
if you're a new breeder, like you don't know what you have to go through to sell things. How you're gonna, are you gonna list it as a morph market? You're gonna do it locally. You're gonna go to a show. You got to have a dispo method, basically.
Yeah. And I will say exactly what Matt said. Just because you have like 20 females that are ready doesn't mean you should fucking shoot for the moon. Like, I mean, I feel like if this is your first time that you're approaching this, it's good to know if you can even do it. So maybe at least dabble a little bit, but make sure whatever it is that you're making, you want to keep. It's all about making what you almost don't want to sell. If you are on that game time all the time with your pairings where you're like, I'm breeding to where I could be the best customer, like I want to be my number one customer in this, then we're not going to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? And all that other stuff that maybe didn't hit and they're hets, all that stuff will sell if it's good quality. But, it takes a lot more than just breeding. And that's another thing too. You waited 3 years to get to this moment, but who are you? Like, does anybody even know who the fuck you are yet? Like how are you? Let's just say you do have success and you breed. How are you going to let go of these animals? Are you going to rely on morph market? Because look what that's doing for people now. It's not working, is it? You got to do a lot more than just breed and post a snake for sale.
Matt used the word that is the better word. I use professional because with time, with experience, you become a professional here and there. And there's people that they never become a professional. But the word that Matt used, polished, is the word.
Yeah.
With these breedings, of course, you're breeding for your future generation of animals. You become more polished. You gain experience.
Yeah, but you can't expect to be polished without experience. You got to know, or you just got to fuck up. I mean, fuck ups is what make you. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, I agree.
But you got to be careful too, because certain fuck ups could get you out of here. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
God damn. Be careful, guys and girls. But what you got for a wrap up question for Maddie?
For me, well, I ask you. I'm interested. I want to know. what's that one animal you are striving to produce in the next 5 years?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's one animal. Just, the project has been the Hypo DG Clown stuff. That's the goal. I have one that's a Krypton DG Hypo that I produced a couple years ago. It's pretty nice. But I want to get more of the codoms that work into that project. It's not always just about, creating that simple recessive combo, right? Sometimes the right genes that create the levels of contrast, I produced a black pastel yellow belly leopard DG Hypo two years ago. And I'm breeding him. So trying to, work those genes into that project. I don't know. I got some other cool stuff I've been working on that's blackhead. I really like blackhead. That's a gene that it just works so well in a lot of stuff. So I'm rolling that into a lot of my Hypo Clown stuff. I mean, these are just building blocks. You got to, get the genetics and everything and then work it together. So as for the project, I mean, just a high level animal with all of those genes is kind of the goal for now. And, I'm sure that'll change between now and next year and certainly 5 years. Who knows what the end goal is really.
I mean, there is no end.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah. There is no end, right? What's the next cool thing? What do you want to produce? Yeah.
You kind of learn a lot on how, okay. So for instance, with me, vlogging people, going to their place, you kind of, you try to get better at asking questions, right? You do your best. And one question that I remember I kept asking Justin, and I was like, dude, he's telling you the answer where you should never answer this fucking question again, or ask this question again. And I would ask Justin, what's your next favorite morph you're looking to make? And he just says the next one. Whatever the next one is, I don't have a specific one because there is no specific one. It's whatever the next one is. And it's fuck, what an answer. Because it's how can you really say this is the end point? How can you say that? If you're really in this, there is no end. It really is.
Yeah.
He has so many things going on. I don't think he could definitively answer that.
Well, I mean,
he's in everything.
Technically, he did because it was just us hanging out in his facility. So he wasn't busy. So I just, at the end of the day, how else do you answer that? Yeah. When you are Justin constantly making fucking what you're making, how do you have a favorite? It would change by the day. It would change by the clutch. I would be like, okay, this is my favorite today. Well, today, nope, this is my favorite. I just, my God.
So many crazy animals. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. Picking a favorite and figuring it out. I mean, there's so many different directions to go in. How do you really, you just really see the potential of a gene and then visualize, hey, what could that do in certain combos, and then try and work it in, figure it out.
Yeah. But dude, you figure it out. Like you said, everyone out there listening who ask people, what should I pair this to? Go fucking figure it out. Take your time. If you don't know what to pair, especially if it's a snake that's not even ready to breed and you want to know what the fuck to pair it to, what's wrong with you? Relax. Because if this snake that's a female is 1 year old, in 2 years when it's ready to breed, how do you even know what the fuck's out right now? Everything that you have planned for the snake could change in a course of a year. So relax, raise it up a little bit. And then once we get to that year of approaching breeding, then start asking questions about what to pair as far as after doing research. But stop being lazy, man. The ball python game has just made people so lazy because there are great mentorships out there, but it's more let me just tell you what to do because you're going to come back and buy from me anyways. Dude, no, chill. Go fucking figure out what it is that you like. And then that's it, day by day. Enjoy the process.
Well, it's an art all to itself, right? These are literally living art, right? So what I like may not be what Emilio likes or what you like. I mean, we're all going to have our different taste and that's what
the beauty of it.
Pick up the things that you like, right? If you're ooh, I like this aspect of this animal. Oh, that's the genetics. Okay, remember that. And then have a vision on what you're trying to create. I mean, but do what you like. You have to work in the genes that you want to work with. Does that make sense?
How boring would it be if everyone liked the same thing? If it was just really no originality in anything. It's all mimicked and copied, which is a lot of the ball python stuff, bro. It's a lot of just copied shit. That's why it's just fucking hit the market with all multiple of the same shit, because there's nobody really just fucking doing the passion behind it. You know, there are, but I'm saying, and I think with time, because of the market, a lot of this is going to level out. A lot of this will transition. A lot of the stuff that's flooding the market will eventually slowly kind of do its thing. And we'll get back to a square one, just like everything else.
Everything's going to, so I actually think that's a good point. We're at a, you know, there's opportunity where we are right now. Right. And that may not even just be the ball python market. It could be, you know, real estate, or, you know, just in general, like investing in things. I think there will be some level of a reset. You know, talk about recessions, right? Like, they're not technically declaring a recession, but I think we're all feeling it in some level. You know, Congress, or, you know, Washington is very, they change the terms. You know, they play with that a little bit, so they announce it way after the fact. And, you know, we're probably in a recession right now, but you just got to pivot off what you're working on, and be ready to, you know, kind of roll and stay relevant.
Tough times don't last. What people do.
You got that
what
right.
I would say to what you guys were just talking about, we can help mold a decision or a better way to go. But if we have to tell you what you should be pairing, you're not doing your homework and you're not working hard enough. If someone else has to tell you what to pair to your animals, you're going to fail.
I agree.
At some point, because you know, you're not going to always have that hand in hand, like, you know, and if you do, what are you really making then? Like, are you like an authorized retailer of the person really making this shit? Like, what are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? So good episode, man. 2 hours went by quick. Got hot seat questions before you dip out, Matt, and they're going to get extra hot because you're not going to Pomona this weekend. So be ready.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Hey guys, do me a favor. Go follow Matt Yates, Reptiles Company, on IG right now. Go get his followers up and get the likes up. But it's hot seat questions time. We're going to end this first Trap Talk episode of 2024 in proper trap style. You ready or what, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Listen, quicker the better. That's how this works. And Emilio's going to end it with his final one. You ready?
Let's go.
Here we go. Frozen thought or live?
Live.
First thing to offer a baby ball python as a meal?
Appropriately sized topper.
Yay chondros or boo chondros?
I love chondros.
Red chondro neo or yellow chondro neo?
Well, considering I got this chondro ball and he's yellow, I'm going for yellow.
I like this. Ball python wise, pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post.
Yay imports or boo imports?
I think there's a place for it if it's done responsibly. Yeah. So yeah.
What about one reptile you would love to import your collection? Like, let's just say space, none of it matter, just a dream reptile to import your collection anywhere around the world. What would it be?
There's some stuff. You know what? I like those. You ever seen those? I think it's like Nautilus gecko. They're from like New Zealand. They're green. Yeah. Right? Those things are pretty badass. Or Fiji iguana. Those are pretty cool too. But you know,
what about one reptile nobody should import or trade or sell, whatever? Just like leave that reptile alone. Don't touch it.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think that, you know, I'm not getting down on big, you know, snake keepers or big monitor people. I think just there's a person that can deal with that and people that can't, you know, and I think, you know, knowing the right person, right? Like you don't want some kid to buy a snake that's going to get 30 feet and they don't know how to care for it, you know? So
you're saying retics?
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Retics, although they're pretty, I appreciate them. There's not for me.
Pretty deadly. All right, here we go. Move forward. To spray or miss a ball python or to never spray and miss the ball python?
Missed them.
Yay sports or boo sports?
I like sports. Yeah.
Favorite sport?
Football. Favorite
football team of all time? NFL.
I'm from Nebraska, so Cornhuskers, baby. You know what I mean? Go Big Red. That's like a way of life there. You know, college.
Well, what's an NFL team for Nebraska? Like
they don't have one.
Yeah, but who do people prefer to like? Is it just college? They say fuck the NFL.
You know what? It's a combination of all of the larger cities that are, you know. So there's like a big KC, like that's probably a pretty big closest to Omaha. You know, Chicago. You know, there's a lot of Chicago people too. Yeah,
I will say, man, Nebraska is one of the most funnest college football games to watch. Who's your guys' rival? Remind me of the rivalry you guys have, like the biggest.
Well, there's Oklahoma probably would be like that was old, you know, Big 12. They've kind of restructured since then. You know, now it's probably Ohio State.
Ohio, yeah. Damn. Good shit. All right, moving forward. Steak or fish?
Steak all day.
Favorite cut of steak?
I don't know, T-bone maybe. Yeah.
Favorite genre of music?
I don't know. I like hip hop. You know,
All
rap.
right.
Yeah.
West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
We're going West.
Nice. Favorite West Coast rapper or rap group of all time?
I mean, come on, probably like Tupac, right? Like who else? You know.
Can't
Yeah.
get, I mean, that's pretty West Coast right there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right, little word association. Say the first thing to come to mind, Matt. You ready?
Let's go.
Milk,
Cookies.
stuck shed,
Mist.
mites,
Lights.
mites,
Oh, mites. Oh, Provenamite.
FedEx shipping,
They're solid. Yeah. No.
first time ball python breeder,
Advice.
first time ball python breeder from 2020.
Research the internet, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, last one before Emilio. Coolest reptile podcast in the world.
Oh, you know that's Trap Talk, baby.
Woo! Ended, Emilio.
Let's go. One has to go. I want pure honesty. Hypo clown or DG clown?
Wow.
Oh God, you're fucking swinging so hard. Why would you
does
do that to me? I don't know, man. You know what? I actually may go keep the hypo clown. I know that's probably
Oh shit.
crazy to say. Yeah, I mean, I love DG clown. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
I do too, but I love hypo. So
dude, I got some cool hypo clown combos. Seriously, there's still a lot more to be done. Yeah,
Respect.
respect. And I'm just gonna say, man, hypo holds the belt. And I have DG and hypo, but if you want to talk about the rankings of who's more or like what's more like important to me, hypo is going to be in everything that I have at some point. Just mark my words. And DG won't.
I'm so happy to see hypo getting the love. Like for a while, people were like shitting on hypo, like it was.
But the DG, everyone was all DG crazy. Like everyone was like pushing DG, which good reason behind it. But then now that we've caught up a little bit, it's like, whoa, hold on. What makes DG even better is hypo. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great combo. Yeah, it really does work well.
I was one of those that shit on hypo in the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you came on board. You saw the light, you know?
I'll admit that.
Hypo hater. Hey, listen, we just had shy of 100 people tapped in tonight, Matt. So what do you have to say to everyone who enjoyed tonight's episode, but more importantly, all the love and support that you've gotten over the years? What do you have to say to all the support out there?
You know, I just got to say, thank you for all the love and support. You know, I'm blessed to have this life that I live and be surrounded with so many awesome people. Happy New Year, right? Like that's a pretty exciting, fresh start. Did you set any resolutions or anything?
Dude, I set goals all the. I don't believe in that bullshit. No offense. I know everyone's happy New Year, but dude, fuck that. You can start a clean slate in August. It doesn't matter. So I always set goals no matter what. But I am feeling good because I will say that this New Year's I started getting back into the gym after not being in the gym for months, and I kind of felt like, all right, I'm at a start fresh phase. So I would say I'm keeping the gym thing up for sure. And along with my jiu-jitsu training and stuff like that, just taking care of my body, man. Like I feel like we cannot do anything if we don't take care of our health. You know what I'm saying? So 100%. I quit drinking. So I know I want to continue the no
nothing.
Yeah. It's been 7.5 weeks. No
Good
drinking.
for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations.
So I want to keep that up as well. That's a big goal. What about you, Emilio? What's a big 2024 thing for you this year, you would say?
You know that saying, bro. Progression. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah. Keep it moving.
So I just want to keep progressing. I want to keep, brick by brick, day by day.
That's it.
Addicted to progression, bro. If I ain't progressing, I'm super unhappy.
Yeah, and I will say tonight, Matt, I hear nothing but progression coming from your side of what you have going on. It's very inspiring to see someone just doing their thing with their foundation. And dude, I say this all the fucking time. If you're meant to be in this game, good things will happen to you. You'll get these waves of just like, wow, look where I'm at now. If you're just patiently doing your thing and having fun. So, and you're living proof of that, man. I will say, keep doing your thing. And for anyone out there who wants to be on top of what you have available, will IG be the best way to follow that?
So Yeah, I got my IG, Matt Yates Reptile Co. I have a very small YouTube. If anybody wants to follow that, that'd be cool. I just been recycling some reels and stuff, but I intend to do a little bit of long format, maybe like a quarterly just update or something. Yeah. And then obviously the MORPH market, check my MORPH market. I try and keep it pretty current, but if you see I'm in a project that you're interested in, please just shoot me a message on any of those sites, reach out to me and I'll take good care of you.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much. Pleasure having you finally come to the Trap Talk Roundtable, but it is a wrap for my boy, Matt Yates of Matt Yates Reptile Company, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Good deal, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Pleasure, bro.
Happy New Year, my man.
Nice talking to you, Emilio, for sure.
Have a big year, bro. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Hell yeah. All right. Later.
Fuck, man. What a great episode. Heat.
I'm
Fire.
I'm going to tell you this. I really enjoyed this episode. It was a banger. Very, very, very substantive.
Yeah.
I loved it. It
Yep.
was great.
You can tell when someone's really grounded in what they're doing, just basically by them explaining their projects, what they have in store, what they have to look forward to. Everything Matt talked about was shit to come in the future. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the ball python game is. It's all futuristic shit. You cannot sit and think about what the current year is because it's already happened. Like this year already happened 3 years ago, technically in the ball python world. So
Yes, sir.
got to stay ahead, man. And what a good way to start off the 2024 season. You need to get some rest, buddy, because you got another podcast. You got 2 more podcasts this week. You're doing the back this week.
Yeah. All week I've been getting the animals ready, everything ready for me to be gone. Tomorrow I just got to do a couple things and it's off.
Here we go.
The West Coast, baby.
Can't wait, man. And you guys out there who are going to the Reptile Super Show, be excited because Big E, Top G, will be in the building. And I really recommend meeting this guy. And Emilio, cannot wait to hang out with you. Thanks so much for being such a great asset to this segment. But have a good night. And please go follow Villarino Reptiles on IG. Go subscribe to the V Unit family. Shout out to the V Unit family. And shout out to you, Emilio. Have a good night. But give it up for my homie, Big E, Top G, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, guys. Happy New Year.
Have a good night, bro. Thank you. All right, guys. That's all we have for the first episode of 2024. Again, like I said, great episode. I learned a lot. You think, like, with all the ball python content being put out there, like, what else can you do? You could still learn a bunch of shit. It's just all about who's putting the content out there. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but let's be real. Trap Talk, very relevant when it comes to ball python talk. I only bring on people who are really killing it in the game, the ones who are really making a serious impact, the ones who have nothing but longevity a part of their game plan. And you can expect that from every guest I bring on this show. All right. So thank you so much. Enjoy your New Year day. Have a good night. All right. We'll catch you here tomorrow. All in the Tree Tuesdays. That's right. All in the Tree Tuesdays. We're sitting down with a good buddy of mine who's actually a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay. That by itself is pretty fucking impressive in player. But not only is he a black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he's actually a really legit chondro breeder, a designer chondro breeder. He's been in the game for a while. And we're going to be sitting down my homie Dimitri tomorrow here on Trap Talk with my buddy Marshall Mendez and my co-host Alex Warren. Good old A&W. All right. So best believe it's going to go down. Set your reminder. Coolest reptile podcast in the world. And that's a fact. That's a wrap for episode 431. Thank you to all the love and support, but more importantly, thank you to the homie Matty Yates from Matt Yates Reptile Company. Have a good night. See you guys tomorrow, and I'm out. Cheers.